and all to another Stig and Chef special.
Woo!
Yes, your third week. Your third week here.
They haven't fired me yet.
Not yet. Give it time. I'm still here after a year, which is surprising. Point. Yeah, you know. So despite some of my best efforts. So today we have a Daemons of Slaanesh game for you, popular army requested, and I've brought a little bit of an El Clasico, basically lots of Daemonettes, but I've also brought out a bit of a cavalcade, bunch of cavalry and chariots, so it should be a lot of fun. And Stig, you have brought your Ad Mech.
I have.
And,
we've got some different units that we haven't either seen on the channel before. A couple of the newer ones as well, just in case. But yeah, so it should be. It's a little bit of a different army for me. So there's a little bit of similarity. There's a little bit of difference. So we'll see what happens. And I've never played Slaanesh before.
It's true. So when you were just like, yeah, here's my Stygies army, -1 hit, I just got, don't care.
Whatever.
Don't care.
Yeah.
It's -1 hit, it's Trousers, don't care. Don't care.
It's just mean like that.
Yeah, it does kind of work in your favour though, because it means you can just go, I don't need to worry about that sort of turn one, so you've got a bit more flexibility.
Yeah, and it's definitely an all-comers type list, but we'll get into that in a bit. So it wasn't anything particularly thinking about this army. So I wish I had been able to think about this army, but never mind. It is what it is.
So this should be an interesting matchup. We basically have lots of killing power versus lots of board control. We shall see who will be the winner.
Winners.
Nailed that.
Got it.
Yeah, let's just do the lists. It didn't happen. List time. And lo, the table has risen from the depths and is semi-in-shot because it looks kind of cool.
Yeah, we like it.
Yeah, it's nice.
Nice.
So we're going to start with my list. It is the Daemons of Slaanesh. I like these pink and purple ladies. They are a lot of fun to use. They're very different to my normal play style, whilst also still kind of fitting a bunch of stuff that I like to do, which
janky.
Is board control and sort of dictating my opponent, basically, in both deployment and in game, because I'm that kind of a guy.
He is.
Yeah. So we've got a battalion today. It is, of course, all Daemons of Slaanesh. So all of my characters get the Locus of Grace. So advance and charge is really tasty. Yeah, it just makes the army even faster than it already is. It puts a huge amount of pressure on. It's really good. So we're led by a Keeper of Secrets, an Exalted Keeper of Secrets, I'll have you know. So I've already rolled for their traits, because I always roll for the traits and they're a lot of fun. I got Quicksilver Swiftness, so an extra 2-inch move and an extra inch to advance and charge. And I also got Lightning Fast Reactions, which is the 4-up in-run save, which is really good because it means I don't need to use Warp Surge on her. And that ties in horrendously with my Warlord trait, which is Celerity of Slaanesh. So, which is just a flat 3 inches to my move characteristic. So she moves a minimum of 21 inches a turn.
She's quick.
Because she's got
14 quick.
She's got 14-inch move base, Stig, and then she gets an extra 3, that makes it 17, and she gets an extra 2, and then I get an extra inch to my advance, which is going to be a minimum of 1, therefore plus 1, that's 21. And then she charges, because she's a character for herself. It's really good. So yeah, she's obnoxiously fast.
Yeah, she is.
I've given her the Shining Aegis, so she's got the 6-up shrug. The whip is nice, but I had some points spare, and I just decided let's see if the shrug is going to pay off today. Who knows? I've also given her the Jewel of Excess, which is the Exalted one specific, so she gets +1 to cast and deny. +1 to cast on Slaanesh powers. Her powers are Symphony of Pain, so a -1 to hit on a unit, which is good, as well as Hysterical Frenzy, which is I pick a Slaanesh unit and they fight. If I'm already in combat. So if I'm in combat with her, she just casts it on herself, she attacks, and then she attacks again in the fight phase. It's very fun.
I don't like her very much.
Yeah, she's great.
I mean, actually, I love her. The model is amazing.
I mean, all of the greater demon models are amazing. I think the Keeper of Secrets is just...
Yeah, 100%.
So that's her. She's backed up by a Contorted Epitome. Now, I've not used these gals before, but a lot of you swear by them, and I get it because they're pretty darn good. They're very pricey. I mean, they're like 210 points.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
They're throwing out a lot of, it's like 8 strength 5 -1 attacks at damage 2 with rending, plus an additional strength 6 at -2 and 3 damage, plus the bonuses that they give, a 2-up shrug against mortal wounds, which is hilarious.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
+1 to cast and deny, casting 2 powers as well, and the fallback debuff is incredible. And then that's ideally what you need with a Slaanesh army is once you're in combat, you're not going anywhere. That's when we can leverage our Quicksilver swiftness to always be striking first. It's a big problem for your opponent. So for those of you that aren't aware, the way that that works is whenever an enemy unit within 6 inches of them wants to fall back, I roll 3d6. If it equals or exceeds their leadership characteristic, they do not move at all.
Please roll 3 ones.
So to that end, I have taken, and that applies to all units, like including like vehicles and Titanic, which is really gross. So to that end, I have taken, because she's got 2 powers on her, she's got Phantasmagoria, which is a 12-inch bubble of -1 leadership, which is nice. And bear in mind she gets +1 to cast, so it's really easy to cast. And she's also got Cacophonic Choir.
That's easy for you to say.
Yes, it's not. I can barely speak English proper normal anyway. So that one is essentially, it's kind of like a smite, but it's based against your leadership.
Okay.
But if you cast it high enough, you get pluses and modifiers. So again, because she's got +1 to cast and she can do -1 leadership, you can really stack up some mortal wounds there. I have spent a second CP on this this pair, so they have the Forbidden Gem. So again, this ties in with the leadership shenanigans that she can do. I pick an enemy character within 12 inches of me at the start of any of their phases, and they just can do nothing for that phase. No auras, no abilities, they can't shoot, they can't cast. They fight at the end, they can't charge, like all kinds of stuff like that. So it's a really good utility piece. If someone's within 12 inches of her, like, you know, Bobby G, I just go, yeah, you're not charging me.
You're not doing nothing.
You can't do anything this turn. So it's really, really powerful. Yeah, it's a great little round.
And that works on any character?
Any character, once per game.
Once per game.
It is once per game. So I do obviously need to pick the opportune moment, but the opportune moment will be the minute I get within 12 inches of your Archmage Dominus, who's giving everyone reroll 1s to hit and 6s do 2 additional hits.
I think it's only 1 additional hit. But
yeah. I mean, it's 2 hits, essentially, is what it boils down to. I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. So that's her. Then we have a Herald on Hellflayer, because it's really cool. Not used them before, but they're pretty tasty. They've got a bunch of basically sort of semi-power fist attacks in addition to their bazillion damage 2 attacks as well. So basically all my characters are throwing out a heinous amount of combat attacks, which is what you would expect. Obviously the +1 aura for strength as well with her, and she's also a psyker, and she has the delightful Agonies power. So this is I can give a unit a 6-up shrug, which is cool. So that's my HQs. Troops are nice and simple. It is 3 identical units of 30 Daemonettes, all with a musician and all with an icon. That's it. They're really good, super fast, super choppy. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
We then go over to my elites. I have 2 units of 4 Fiends of Slaanesh. Toughness 4 and 4 wounds is really tough for a Slaanesh army.
I like them as being a little bit different compared to a lot of the other stuff.
Yeah, and yeah, they've got a good amount of attacks. Again, super duper fast, good little entourage for your characters, and also you can't fall back from them unless you have fly. Does anything in your army have fly, Stig? Do your hovercraft have fly? So you can't fall back from them, and that's just a straight up you can't fall back.
Yeah.
Now that is if you're in combat with them. It is 1 inch. It's not a 6-inch bubble like it is with the Contorted Epitome. But if you stagger these, if you stagger them out and around, basically once you get the right sort of combination in play, your opponent's shut down, which is just gruesome. So those are my elites. I go over to my fast attack. I have 2 units of 5 Seekers. No upgrades here. These are just super duper cheap objective cappers. Again, sort of, you know, they're support units for like your characters, able to sort of go and contest objectives. Still throw out a bunch of attacks, even with only 5 of them in there. Yeah, and cheap for what they do. I think Fiends are better. We just don't have enough Fiends. So that's, you know, that's that.
And we can't blame Sanger for this one.
No, we can't. We can't. We can't blame someone else.
I mean, we could blame Sanger.
I'll probably just blame. I'll just probably blame him anyway. It's not like he does anything.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then we go over to my heavy support, and this is just a bit of fun. We have 3 Exalted Seeker Chariots because I just think they look really cool.
They do.
You know, it's a huge amount of attacks. It's something like 14 attacks, which is just hilarious. Weapon skill 2 as well, I believe, which is pretty cool. They've got little whips, which is fun, I suppose. And they do mortal wounds on the charge on 6s, which is 5s or 6s? No, 6s for every model that's in the opposing unit that's within an inch. So again, a bit of fun. They're more here just to sort of have the theme of lots of like fast and sort of cavalry stuff. And they're cheap for what they do. I found that they're also really useful for being that nuisance thing of going, oh, well, you look at them and you go, oh, okay, well, they're toughness 5 with their sort of 12 wounds and they're 4 up save and they're 5 up invite. Yeah, just whack a couple of multi-melters or las cannons at them. Nah, they're still around. If you roll well, they're still around, and then next turn they're going to charge you because they're super duper fast.
Yeah, and it's annoying because they don't really do much against secondaries. There's nothing you can kind of particularly go, oh, cool, I'll take advantage.
They're not vehicles.
No. So
they do count for thin the ranks.
Yeah.
And admittedly, this army just, you look at this army and go, thin the ranks and pull the witch. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, that's what you do. But hopefully by the time you've actually gotten enough points on that, I've already just run away with primary and other secondary points. So we'll see what happens. As I said at the beginning, this is kind of like a board control army, versus a very, very killy army. So we'll see how we withstand. Now, I don't want you to be alarmed though, Stig. It is 2,000 points on the nose.
Oh! Congratulations.
Thank you. I accept your concession. And yeah. That's the list. It's nice and simple. We'll see how it gets on. Should we do yours?
Let's do mine.
All right, we'll be right back.
All right, we're back. Should we do mine?
No, we'll do mine again.
Okay.
Go on.
It's also a battalion. Yes, I said it right. And we have spent 1 CP before game to use Mechanicum Locum, so I've got 2 traits going on, but we'll get to that in a second.
Nice.
We've got 3 HQs. We have Daedalus.
Yes.
The correct way to pronounce his name. We have a Tech Priest Dominus. He's the actual warlord with Divinations of the Magos. It's, yes, it's got 3 different options that you can select, but the one that's key is the fact that it has exploding 6s or Tesla 6s. That's the reason you take it. The other one is Manipulus, which I don't often use that often, but he is the character that I've spent Mechanicum Locum on to give him Prime Hermeticon, which is reroll all hits in combat.
Okay.
Which is pretty nice.
It's
failed hits.
Okay.
It's old wording.
It's old wording.
It's old wording.
Just so because I've got a couple of ways of getting -1 to hit.
Yeah, so it's failed hits in combat, and I've also given him I can't remember the official name of it, but it's the relic where he's doing something Ancient pseudo generator, which basically means that you get an additional D6 strength 4 AP1 1 damage attacks that you re-roll against infantry, re-roll wounds against infantry, I should say, because he's also got his Mechadendrites, which is strength 4 AP.
That doesn't replace it.
Doesn't replace it. So he effectively ends up with 2d6 additional attacks.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I've done it purely for fun,
That's
and
fun.
obviously he's re-rolling failed hits, and with one of those he's re-rolling wounds. But strength 4 against toughness 3 ladies.
Yeah, and obviously they're infantry.
Yeah.
Because the Manipulus normally when you use him, it's for like the range boost.
Yeah.
But he does do something else.
Yeah, and it's the something else that he'll be used with, which is the +1 movement for both movement, move, advance, and charge.
That's cool. And does he need to do anything for that, or does it just
be within 6 and select it?
Okay, so it's
basically.
not like an aura, but it's still pretty good.
Well, it is an aura, but he just needs to, the unit needs to be, everything within 6 of him gets that.
Right, okay.
He just selects that. I think it's the end of his movement phase. I believe it might be start of movement phase. It's one or the other. I think it's the end, because that one you can still move. The shooty one, he has to have stayed still.
That's, what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and I think it's at the end because of that. But we'll check that later. He is obviously, being a little character, just a bit of fun. I've given him the Transuranic Cannon, which is the flamer, effectively, as well. Again, because he's going to have to be in close to make use of his stuff, so he may as well have a flamer.
Going to be in my grill.
He's going to be funny.
Which is not where you want to be.
Yeah, well, not really, but yeah, it was just, I thought it was just a nice way of making him a bit of fun, sure. And and then I found out I was playing Slaanesh. Okay, anyway, troops-wise, we've got 2 units of destroyers with Grav now. The changes in the FAQ meant that Plasma isn't as reliable because you can't just ignore the overcharging problem.
But vice versa, you also don't die on, like, 2s.
Yeah, which is also good. Yeah, true. But I decided to go with Grav, and I think a lot of people are running Grav destroyers now because they're toughness 5, 3 wounds. Min unit of 3 is pretty decent.
Yeah.
It's not great against demon armor with 5 vulnerables, but the D3 damage on anything with a 3+ save, Marines, is really nice.
Yeah, it is. They're a good utility unit, I think. Yeah. Obviously, some armies, like you say, they're not going to be amazing, but they're still D6 strength 5 shots.
It's flat 5,
flat 5.
Strength 5. AP 3, and then
so against most hordes, you're actually going, I've got a bunch of shots that are hitting on.
Yeah.
Hitting well and wounding on 3s, and you're probably not going to save outside of your demons. So they're still a good utility choice, I think.
No, they're decent. They really are. And at this point, I think they're 135 points for a unit of 3. It's not bad, all things considered. They've got some benefits. They have the flamers. I've given them flamers this time. They are Cognis flamers, so they didn't get the extra range. They're still 8-inch range.
Oh, the control F didn't work very well, apparently. Yeah. Which is surprising because they are actually a flamer.
Yeah, the one good thing with the Cognis Flamer, if I remember correctly on this unit, is that if you're overwatching with them, you roll 2d6.
Yeah.
And pick.
Which is nice.
If that's what you're doing. But that's a thing. We've then got 4 units of Vanguard. They've each got 1 plasma in, purely for points. Just because that's the way it is. We've then got, in fast attack, we've got 2 units of Raiders. They're min units of 3. Their pre-game movement is brilliant for an army that wouldn't have a lot of board control if it wasn't for the transports and them. So that kind of can be helpful if you're going first, particularly. They're all about the stratagem of being able to get out of dodge if someone charges them, and that's probably where you're going to see them a little bit. They are snipers, but obviously with 2-up ignore mortal wounds, the only thing that I'd probably be shooting with them is going to ignore them, so that's fine. But other than that, we then have 5 Iron Striders, all with twin las cannons. They've only got better. Anyone that's watched the channel for before the last 6 months, 7 months, knows that I love Iron Striders. I've loved them for a long time in 8th because they're an expensive unit, but you can put down such reliable anti-tank with them. And they've got a really big footprint, like as a unit, which means you can get around a lot. There's some great stratagems to help. They've got some more stratagems in Engine War, +1 to wound now as well, which is really, really useful. So again, reliable, and they're just really, really cool models. I had to have some chickens. I haven't had some chickens yet since coming back. So we've got those. And then, let's say we've got 3 Dune Riders in dedicated transports. I'm not sure if I mentioned the priests. We've got 9 Electro Priests in one of those transports.
I thought your Manipulus was just going to be running around by himself.
Yeah, I mean, that's a thing, just to reroll his 3 normal attacks. So 9 priests. It's slightly annoying with a Dune Rider. You can only fit 10 models, so you have to go to a unit of 9 if you want your rerolls and your kind of movement stuff. But It kind of balances out
standard
at that
transport thing.
Yeah, unless you're guard and you get 12.
Yeah, but that is specifically, I think, due to the fact that they've always had 12 because there was a reason for it.
Is it to do with command squads and stuff like that?
I think it was to do with the fact that I think we're history lesson. We're going back here, and I could be wrong. So guard players correct me, but I think it used to be
Colonel
because
you need him?
You used to be able to take you could take your units of 10, but your heavy weapons team took up 2 slots.
So
even though they were basically it was just your 2 models, and then that also gave you enough room for your commander to be inside as well.
Makes sense.
I think that could be it.
Yeah, and then it just becomes a bit weird when you have things like a termite, which does give you 12 slots, despite the fact that it's not a guard vehicle. And therefore,
but I mean, again, some stuff is just like that. Rhinos carry 10, your Razorbacks carry 6, but then which is great for like your 10-man unit and a character. Your Impulsors carry 6, so those sorts of smaller combat units, and then you get things like Venoms, which carry 5, which Lawrence loves.
He loves that. And then the only other thing that we haven't mentioned is 3 Dakabots. You like Dakabots, don't you?
That's a problem.
With strength 6 against toughness 3.
It's to be expected. At least I got a 5-up save.
It's true.
Yeah. And so again, we discussed this last time. What ignores the saving throw cover and what ignores dense cover?
Yes. So actually, this time it's actually all right because the Phosphor Blasters ignore the saving throw. And I haven't brought Omnispecs on the Vanguard, so we don't have to worry about it on those. Cool. And I don't have the Pistoliers because it's those guys. Yeah, they ignore all the benefits of cover, which is awesome.
Which is really good.
Really, really good. But it's a funny one with for an Ad Mech player that we went from having literally 2 fast attack choices to suddenly lots.
Yeah, you've got 6 now?
Yeah.
2 types of hounds.
Yeah, 6.
The Taraxi.
Yep. 2 types of Taraxi, 2 types of hounds, and 2 types of chickens. So chickens, bats, and doggos.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, variety is the spice of life.
Yeah, I will have to run a cavalry army at one point with just all of them.
Yes. We'll have a cavalry off.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. No, that's definitely happening.
Yeah, we won't bring like any troops.
Oh no,
just bring everything.
Yeah,
like
was it an outrider?
Yeah,
you're only allowed 2 outriders. That's only it.
Please. Yeah, you will do that, and it's like, okay, what's the movement of this? Oh, it's a 10-inch move. It's not fast enough. Make it 12.
No, chickens.
Oh, they've only got 10. Fine, I'll allow 10.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
So you can have chickens.
Yeah, I need to have chickens.
Chickens.
Yeah, probably.
So, is that the list?
Yeah, it's 1999.
My victory is assured.
Exactly. It's also relatively small for an Ad Mech army in 9th edition.
Yeah. I mean, the chickens are quite pricey, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
$350 or something.
Oh gosh, now I can't even remember what it is. They actually have gone down.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But bear with me 1 second, please.
Yeah, obviously your Dakabots are quite expensive.
375 now, 75 points with the Cognos Las cannons. My memory is quite vague, but I feel like they were slightly more than that before. You're seeing a lot of people running the autocannons, particularly with Mars, because of the amount of shots and Mars's way of getting that stuff strength 8.
It's the strength 8 and the strategy. Can you use the stratagem on them as well?
Yeah, so you can do, so it's +1 to wound on anything against other than Titanic.
Sure.
With Bastari, so it works really, really well. Yeah. Is really, really good. These are magnetized, but I haven't actually painted up the autocannons. They're just sitting there ready
What are
to
you
be
even
done.
doing?
Not a lot, really.
Yeah.
Actually, I was painting Custodes this week.
That's for another time.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
That's it.
You have seen the lists. Now you're about to see the mission. It's exciting.
Today's mission is Scorched Earth, an Eternal War Strike Force mission from the Warhammer 40,000 core rulebook. 6 predetermined objective markers are placed onto the battlefield. Units in your army can remove the objective markers on your opponent's deployment line by completing an action. The primary objective is Take and Hold, a progressive mission where players can score 5 victory points for each of the following conditions they achieve at the end of each of their command phases. Hold 1 or more objectives, hold 2 or more objectives, and holding more objectives than their opponent. These are cumulative and can not be scored in the first battle round. Each player chooses 3 secondary objectives that can score up to 15 points each.
I'm on this side of the camera!
Which is very strange in itself.
Yeah, I know, right?
This was a small excavation, just finding some artifacts, some sections of STCs, and then this whole thing happened. Look at this.
I mean, you found something that man was not meant to find, and then you probably went, well, it's all right. We're not men. We're machines. It's fine. Like,
we like it.
Yeah.
We like it a lot. Maybe a little bit too much. Oh look!
Touch the device. You got
Slaanesh arrived.
Don't touch it.
So, you join us. You've seen the deployment. That's exciting. For me, that's very exciting. It's still new.
Yeah.
Still new that all goes on. But you guys, it's old hand. But yes, so you've seen all of that. What you see is what you get with terrain perspective. Of course, it will come up in the game and we shall discuss. But we've got some nice ruins going on. We've got some dense cover options and some line of sight blocking, as you'd expect. So yes. We are at the point of rolling to see who goes first.
An important roll-off!
A very important roll-off, probably more so for me than for you.
Correct.
Yeah, this could be a problem. Just because I'm concentrating on doing more than one thing, standing, holding a camera and talking. These are complicated things. I'm going to make you roll first, okay?
Sure. So one caveat I will say here, guys, this is the first time that Stig has ever filmed. Like even back sort of in the old studio or when he was visiting previously.
I did like tiny bits, but it was a very, very different setup.
Completely different setup. So bear with him, as I'm sure that you all bear with me. So prepare for some heinous comments, Stig.
Yeah, exactly.
The roll for turn 1 is a 2.
Okay.
Very well. It's going to be like that.
Hopefully. Oh, it's a 2.
Don't do this to me, Stig.
Right. And
A 5.
there. That's very shaky already. Apologies,
Don't worry
guys.
about it.
And a 1.
So I will take the first turn, Stig.
I thought you might.
I want that board control.
Yeah, funny that. And here we go, the speed of this army once again. Some incredible advance rolls over here, really getting some stuck in over there. We've not advanced with that Daemonettes unit at the back there, and action may or may not be about to happen. We have in the middle, but they didn't get so lucky.
They rolled a 1.
We've got out of line of sight back here. We've managed to get out of the way of the las cannons. They would have to... we think it's probably going to be tough for them to get any line of sight.
They probably can, but you basically need like a double 6 on your advance roll, and then you'd be coming real dangerously close to get line of sight because getting the angle is going to be tricky.
Considering what else is over on this side, it might not be the play anyway. The Castellans could possibly do it, but they'd have to move, and then that mitigates what else they're doing. More advance rolls over here on the Fiends, is this right?
Yep, they're the
right?
Fiends.
Fiends and this chariot. Unfortunately, this lady didn't roll so well.
Yeah,
She's
she
stuck
rolled
at the
one as
back. And that Daemonette unit at the back are not advanced because they're going to do an action 2.
Yeah.
So we've got some barricades that's going to be very useful for me, hopefully. We've obviously got some stratagems that might come in play, but yes, it could be a tricky first turn for the Ad Mech.
Indeed.
You happy with yourself?
Very.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to add. So we're raising banners, obviously.
That's on those 2 Daemonettes that didn't advance that we mentioned.
Yep. And everyone here can charge, barring these gals, because it's when it's at the start of the charge phase. So can't do anything with them. I know obviously you can fall back, but I have options. Some of them are going to be some big old charges, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I think that's it. We
Cool,
can have
then.
a very quick psychic phase, shooting maybe. I mean, oh, we are. Oh, we can do some whippy. Not over there. We've got one whippy to do.
I moved all the way over only to find we couldn't do it. So we can do it over here, can we?
Yes, but first we'll do some psychic. So we'll be right back.
And of course we're into the psychic phase. Chef did go to start explaining to me, and then I just got confused by the words. So, Chef, what are you doing?
Okay, so we're going to start with Delightful Agonies from the Herald here onto this blob of Daemonettes in the
One's
center.
in the center.
So this is the 6-up shrug, and it is indeed cast on a 9. You have no deny, so tough.
It's mean,
so they
isn't it,
have
really?
a 6-up shrug, which is good. So that's them.
Where do we go next?
We'll now come over to the Greater Demon, and she is going to cast, because she should be in range, 18. Let's have a look.
Checking live.
Yes. So she's going to cast a Smite.
Okay, where are you rolling? Over there?
It does go off on a 6, so it's just D3 mortal wounds. It is the big 3.
Ooh,
One is
okay.
blown to bits. We're going to stick with her. She's going to cast Symphony of Pain. So that unit's -1 to hit. It has to be the closest unit within 18.
Okay.
So, I mean, you know, this is just kind of neither here nor there. It does go off.
You
so
rolled behind the building. Good.
forgive me.
Line of sight blocking for dice included.
Haha, obscuring. So that's that, and then we go over to Magau's here. I'll
are
let
they
you
gonna
remove
do?
your casualties first.
Ah, okay. Okay, what are we doing, Chef?
Okay, so she can still see, and she is still just in range. We're going to start with a Cacophonic Choir.
Again, easy for you to say.
Yes, with the +1, I believe that goes off. I think it's Warp Charge 6. Bear with everyone. It's been a
He's
while.
checking. He's checking.
Yes, it is Warp Charge 6, so that's that. I now roll 2d6, and for each point that it exceeds your highest leadership characteristic, you
Which
take a
is
mortal-
6 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so you take
Ooh.
5 mortal wounds then.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Wow. Brutal. My poor doggies. My poor doggies. There were 2 of them. Now there's only 1 on 1 wound. And we're now going into the shooting phase.
That was quick. Charge phase.
Yep.
So
What are we doing first?
they cannot charge.
That's over there.
They can charge, they cannot currently fit.
That's the chariot.
Indeed. The
Okay.
Seekers are going to attempt to charge, and they are going to attempt to charge just that.
Okay. So, we've got. Are you going through or over the
I will
barricade, or be going
looking to
round
go
the
around
barricade?
it.
Should be able to fit quite nicely
Yes,
through there.
is my plan.
So, do we know what we need? Maybe.
That's a good question. It looks like, so that's going to be a 9, but I do get +1. I
Cool.
don't get +1 with them.
Okay.
There is no musician in there.
So we need a 9.
It is a 9.
Oh.
Okay. In they go. Oof.
We'll come back. Okay. This could be a problem. They've got in. They couldn't actually go over the barricade because of the -2.
Yeah, they would have failed.
You would have failed it,
Yeah.
even with a 10, which is
Yep.
pretty cool. So we're going to charge with this chariot next.
Yes.
It needs an 8 to get around, and we're going into my doggos. But wait!
Oh no!
Guess what's happening next? So they're going to get out of dodge. Now, I ummed and ahed about going with them or with this lone puppy over here. Now, the Fiends obviously could go in quite easily, and then he's stuck there. But that probably means that then, well, the chariot can't get around then, so that kind of mitigates that a little bit. If the chariot was to try and get around, it's an 11-inch charge, so
Yeah.
it's quite a long one. So I'm going to try and play the odds a little bit for what it's worth, and I'm going to use my stratagem to get these guys, so they're going to have a 12-inch move now,
All right.
and we'll get them out of dodge. My poor doggy, he's not been through enough yet. He's now going to get these horrible things legging it at him.
He's about to be fiended. This is like a 6-inch charge. That is an 8.
It's fine.
In we go.
We'll move them in. Now, Chef's decided to pile in over here and start over here. He, whilst interrupting, wouldn't do anything from a combat perspective. It would have allowed me to move this guy in such a way which would limit his consolidation options, and you can kind of guess what he's going for already over here. So, how many attacks have we got with these guys?
16! Not each. That would be
I mean, that would be pretty horrible. It's pretty horrible anyway.
Yeah.
4 attacks each.
4 attacks each. Okay, we are weapon skill 3.
Which is pretty nice.
Of course we are, we're demons. Why would I be anything? Well, we're Demons of Slaanesh. I think demon, like your horrors and your stuff like that are weapon skill 4. Because, you know, they're shooting.
Reasons.
Strength 4.
It's toughness 3.
Cool. So these are at -1, except for those two which are at -4.
Ooh, okay. Well, let's just roll for those first. So we need 6 up invuln bionic saves. And he's dead.
He's dead. Very
Shock
good.
horror. And the consolidations happened just getting a wee bit too close for my liking to these servitors. They are now stuck. Not being able to fall back is a bit of a problem against these fiends.
Yep.
Oh dear. Right, and we're going to come over here next, is that right?
Yes, some token attacks here. So we'll start with the claws. I will roll them here.
Okay.
I mean, that's pretty good.
I mean, yeah, I can see that from here. That's
I
not
dropped
good.
1.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I do need 6s to wound, however.
You know, there is always that.
That is 1 wound,
Just
and
one
that is
wound?
at -4.
-4?
Yes, they are rending.
Oh, so there's no save on that. It's
Okay.
that's just done 1 damage because there's no
1.
Shroud's Arm.
Indeed.
So that's just happened.
And then we do have just their tongues to finish off from the steeds themselves.
We can just about see.
We drop 4 there. These are strength 4, but they have no AP, so these are 5s to wound. 2 wounds and 2 normal saves.
2 wounds and 2 normal saves of 3 up. And we shall try to do this. Yay!
Okay.
So that's 2 damage that's gone through in
That's
total.
Not there to do that. They're there to stop you from shooting at anything other than them.
Which is kind of understandable.
That is my attacks done. So you do have your attacks back from both of your units in combat.
Yes. So token over here, and then I'll have to stop to get some more
Sure.
dice. We do have 3 attacks here on 6s, and nothing. Great.
Cool.
Let me get some dice, and we'll come over to here. So I've piled in the destroyers, and I've actually gone to base with this guy, just trying to limit how much movement they're going to have with their next move, and trying to get a little bit of a blocker, because if they're going to be a speed bump, they may as well be a speed bump. We do have 2 attacks from each of these guys. They are hitting on 4s. Oh,
that's
okay.
pretty good.
Yeah, that's all right.
If you kill one, that would be really cool.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty hard
grind
to,
one
because,
down.
yeah, exactly. They are strength 5, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
So 3s to wound. He's wounded all
Could
of the
do it.
times. So fail all these saves, please.
Oh, okay. One is alive on a single wound.
A single wound. They are full wounds each.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. They did something. I wasn't quite expecting that. I think I worked out as doing 2 wounds. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Way above average. Nice.
So that's the end of the fight phase, and Chef will have got 3 points for engage on all fronts, because look at the speed of this army and the board control already. You can just see it, it's everywhere on turn 1. It does give him a really good base to start for future turns, particularly also where he is from thinking about primary for turn 2 onwards. So my turn is going to be interesting. Turn 1 could be important. Let's see if I can engage my brain. We'll be back very soon.
Turn 1 for the Mechanicum. The movement phase is now completed. We have shimmied along with the Iron Strider Ballistaris. Why does this army have so many complicated names? Because they're Ad Mech, and that's what they do.
And I picked really badly. I mean, you know, a dyslexic person shouldn't really play Ad Mech because it's tough. It really is hard. Feel sorry for me. Or don't, it's fine. But yeah, there's some strange words.
So we've shimmied along there, looking, they do not have line of sight to my Greater Demon. As we sort of established, there was plenty of line of sight blocking there. They do, however, have line of sight to both of these Exalted Chariots here. Definitely got the range, and even though there's some dense cover there, there's ways for them to mitigate that quite easily, which is very good for them, not so for my Chariots. We've remained in combat with the Dune Rider because, quite frankly, he's not going to die, and he may as well just have some pot shots at those gals, so it makes sense to me. We cannot fall back with the these destroys here, so of course that is where we have remained. The Fiends, the power of them is very nice.
I mean, surely they're vehicles because they've got tracks and everything.
Nope.
Oh, wait.
No, they're not. So what we've done is decided to get the heck away from the Hellspawn. So everything moving over here. Obviously the Dacabots care not about moving, which is nice. We've shimmied along with the destroyers up here, so they do have line of sight to stuff. And they are within 6 inches of both Daedalus and the Dominus for his auras, even over the diagonal, so that's good there. Move to block with the Doom Riders here and here. The Tech Priests, I always call them Tech Priests.
You do.
The Electro Priests have remained inside the safety of their ship for now. So Stig will need a good turn of shooting, and he certainly has the power to do so. Lots of reliable shooting here, as well as the all the various buffs that he has. Let's see if he can take down these key targets that need to be removed. We'll be right back. Here we are in the shooting phase, just a couple of little bits of bookkeeping and admin to do. We have enacted binary override on the Dacabots so that they are going to double tap, done at the end of the movement phase. Forgot to mention it, but yeah, it makes sense. Stig was thinking about whether to do it or not, and then decided no, it needs to be done to ensure total destruction of my gals.
I mean, to be honest, it's one of those things as Ad Mech player, when you stick your talons into the floor and stand still, you almost know this is either make or break the entirety of the game, especially with an army this quick. However, it's this quick. If I don't remove one of the problems or one of those units, I'm in a mess.
Yep.
So despite it being turn 1, I need to do it, sadly.
Okay.
It is what it is.
So that has been done, and then at the start of the shooting phase, I am going to do Warp Surge on these gals here. So we've got a 4-up Invuln there, we've got the 6-up Shrug there. These girls essentially have a -1 to hit because of dense cover. So all of my girls have some form of defensive buff. Not that these ladies would be under attack anyway, but these two certainly could. Shooting wise, we are going to kick off with this Doom Rider here, but of course, Daedalus is going to look funny. He gives you the evil eye, of course, at these gals. So everyone within 6 inches of him gets +1 to hit, which is pretty good.
Needed. So, we are going to start off over here, as we've said. So because of the Canticle, it will be 4s rerolling 1s because of the -1 because we're in combat.
Oh yeah, I don't know if we mentioned your Canticle.
Yeah, because it didn't really come up in the first one, but it is the one, which means that I get to reroll these 3 ones.
Because normally you would go for Shroud's Arm, but against this kind of army, there is absolutely zero need.
So hits 8 times.
Was that on 4s because it's big guns
4s,
never tire?
yeah. Cool. Yeah. Luckily, it was all 4s or above, apart from 4 2s and a couple of 1s.
Very good.
And then this will be 3s.
Yes.
So 5 wounds.
5 up, invulnerable saves. Okay, 1 is off the board, so 1 is definitely dead, and 1 is on 1 wound. Let me mark them up. Now it is time for the Iron Strider Ballistari. So we are doing some split fire as well as a bunch of stratagems here.
Yes, so we have the usual Protect Doctrine Imperative, which is +2. Effectively, it's mitigating the -1 from here, so they'll be hitting on 2s. Okay.
Because obviously -1 for dense guys.
Exactly.
And then +2 effectively cancels out the -1, but also still with +1. So
which is nice.
Which is very good. As we've said before, even though you're capped at +1, -1, it's really good for those sort of stacks to negate them, basically, which is good.
Speaking of which, because he's within 6, or they are within 6 of the Divination of the Magos Tech Priest Dominus, it means that 6s will explode.
Very nice.
So which is, again, nice. We're also going to use a new one from Engine War, which is Pattern Iteration Identified, which is +1 to wound against anything that's not Titanic. So
and that's not like against vehicles or monsters, because they're not vehicles or monsters.
No. So use this stratagem in your shooting phase when a them, unit from your army is chosen to shoot with until the end of that phase when resolving an attack made by a model in that unit against a unit without the Titanic keyword, add 1 to wound.
Very cheeky indeed.
So these 2 chariots that are being cheeky and sitting on those objectives, thinking about their command phase next turn, need to not be there anymore.
I respect the play. I don't like it, but I respect it. Good target priority there. Stig.
Well, but that does mean some splitting. Now, with these, because of the way that the models work, you can't split perfectly down the line. So 3 models, 6 shots are firing at that guy.
Okay.
And I think I'll do that. Sorry, I think I'm doing that the other way. Sorry, it is 3 models and 6 shots into this one, and 2 models and 4 shots into this one.
Into this chariot here.
So all of that means 2s re-rolling 1s.
Yep.
2s.
2 swing.
So,
okay,
yeah,
very
and
nice.
then -3, but obviously that doesn't matter.
That is
but,
meaningless to me. So,
you know, it is what it is.
And 6s explode. We will remember it this time.
Yes, we will. We will. So we will start off. Let's start off with the 4 shots into this guy.
Okay, so here we go. 4 shots into this Exalted Chariot.
So they've all hit apart from that one, which is re-rolling. So cool. So.
Wow. Okay. So that's 7 hits out of 4 shots. Very good.
Yeah. 2 guys hit 7 times.
Nice.
Brilliant. 2s now.
Cool.
So that
6
is
wings?
7 wounds.
7 wings.
7 wounds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, 5 up invulnerable saves. Don't fail me now. Oh, you failed me quite badly. So I've lost 4. So 4 have gone through already, and the one off the board, 5 have gone through. So 5d6 damage here. I've only got 12 wounds.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
yes, she's dead. She doesn't explode or anything like that, but that is one of my chariots gone. Now, they're not vehicles or anything. However, because they have over 10 wounds, they are eligible for thin their rank. So that is a victory point for the Stig there.
Yes.
Shall we go straight onto this one?
Indeed. So these have got 6 shots going into them.
Okay.
So we'll see how many of these convert. Not as many 6s so far, but I do reroll that one.
So it's still 7 hits though.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still pretty good.
Yeah. 2s again. 7
again.
wounds.
Okay, so there's 6 on the table here. That's
Oh,
better. I
nice.
do pass 4 of them this time. 2 have gone through. The third one also passes.
wow.
So 2d6 damage here. You need a double 6.
Ooh.
I saw that first 6. I was like, don't do it, Stig. Don't
We'll
do
take
it.
that though. That's all right.
That's grim. 11 damage off the bat. Only a single wound remaining. Horrific stuff from the ballistas.
Zip, 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 zip.
A cheeky Dominus now.
Got the eradication ray on this one, so it's D3 shots, which is 2.
Okay, so 2 shots. It is
He
gonna
has
be...
moved, so
Yes.
3's re-rolling 1s.
Okay.
Re-rolls. I'd bet a 6 would be nice, but never mind. So they are 3s to wound now.
Okay. No wounds
wounds.
there. So I still somehow live with a wound remaining. The Cerberus Raiders now could fire at my Hellflayer, but have decided, nah, not worth it. We're going to get rid of some of these Seekers instead.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
3's re-rolling 1s because of the Canticle. Cool.
Very nice.
Would have been nice if I got those explosions. It'd be nice to get some 6s again. They are strength 4, but 6s will be -1 and a mortal wound in addition.
The -1 is meaningless,
Yes.
but it is the mortal wound, which is good.
Yeah,
Okay, so it is 2 wounds there, one of which is a mortal wound, so 2 5-up invulnerables. Okay, so 1 is slain and 1 goes down to 1 wound because the mortal wound happens afterwards. Very tasty. I tried to say tasty and cheeky indeed at the same time, and my tongue got all tied.
Got stuck in.
The June Rider looks to finish off the 1 wound Exalted Chariot. Can we do it? Maybe.
3s. Oh, we don't get the explosions, but we do get the re-roll 1s.
Indeed. Very nice. 11 hits there.
It is going to be 5s and 6s because they're strength 4.
Tis indeed. That's pretty decent.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
decent.
all right.
Is that 5?
It's 5, yeah.
Okay, no minuses though?
No minus.
So I
just,
do have a 4-up save here.
I know, but you just need to fail one of those, please, Chef. Did you fail one of those? No, you
look.
did not fail one of those.
Look at it! Bask in its glory! Yes! Fortunately, Stig has given himself redundancy, and this June Rider is going to fire at this 1 wound expletive.
Yeah. My hope originally was that these two guys were going to get some pop shots off the extra one, not have to finish off the one wound. But hey, is it also kind of funny that this is the one that took 3 of them?
Yeah.
Because that's how that works all the time.
That is how it works.
Anyway, lots of 2s, unfortunately.
And again, no exploding 6s
Yeah,
here.
he's outside of 6
The bubble. 5s. 1 wound. A 4-up save.
Go on, fail it.
To be even more obnoxious than it already is. It's
I can't
a 2.
see it. Oh, fine.
So I'm going to spend a CP to reroll that.
Of course you are.
And I pass it. The Dacabots eye up the Daemonettes. We have swapped positions because Stig has all of that entire bundle of hand. Do you hear that?
I can't actually move it because
Like,
I'm
shake
worried
it,
I'm worried about dropping them.
Do it
actually.
next to your mic so people can hear that.
Can get a little bit.
There's a little bit of a shake.
Right.
So we've swapped because there's a bit more space for him to roll the. How many dice is it?
See, I've already dropped one now. There are
It's 9.
18 per robot. So what's that? That's 56. Maths? 54. 54.
Either way, it's a lot of shots. It's a miniature bucket load. They're hitting on 3s because of Daedalosus. Here we go.
They will re-roll 1s because of either the Canticle or the Dominus.
Indeed.
And of course 6s are exploding.
So here we go.
And 2 are off the board.
All right, we'll let you re-roll the 2, and then let's add that up. We'll be right back. Right. So there's 24 hits, plus another 10 6s, so that's 44 hits so far, and now we've got 1s to re-roll.
Which is all this lot.
Okay, well at least there's no extra 6s in there.
Okay, yeah.
But that is a grand total of
44, 40, 50, 52.
out of 54 shots.
Yeah.
Wow,
With a ballistic
Stig.
skill of 4+.
Wow, Stig.
Okay, and now these are wounding on 2s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be a dead unit, methinks, but let's find out.
Let's find out. Right, let's see if I can pick up this bucket of dice. I need to start doing some hand stretching exercises like Bone used to do. See, I'm already dropping some.
Why don't you roll what you've got?
I'll go roll these and we'll see if it matters.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot there. There's a lot.
And those, right, pick out the 1s. So I'm picked out 4, 5 1s.
Right. So that's 47 saves.
Yes.
Let me gather some dice. We'll be back, everyone. Stig was kind enough to addend his mistake, and it is actually 46 wounds. So, that's something.
Yeah, I found one more 1.
Just sneak a little 1 in there.
Strength 6 against demons.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
Your Invan is only going to go so far, but we do have Warp Surge active on them, so this is a batch of 23 here. It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Looks pretty good
so far. So we have dropped. I'm just going to. It's pretty darn good actually. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 saved so far. So
that's
10
good.
Dead thus far. I now need to try and pick this all up in one hand. It's going to go very, very badly. So, fortunately, we know it's 23. I'm just going to roll a batch here. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that looks very good.
That is very good. Warp Surge has really paid off here. We've lost another 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have lost 18.
18.
That is way above average, but so is your shooting, so it probably averages out. I don't know. Maths is hard, but still. 12 Daemonettes left. Will it be enough? Desperate times, desperate measures, but a calculated measure, like all good Ad Mech sort of plans. The Destroyer's elimination volley has been enacted because they are within 6 inches of the
Dacabots.
The Dacabots, and this can be done at any point. So Stig was holding on to this in case he needed to use it, and needed to use it, he has.
So although it gives a +1 to both units effectively for 2 CP. Now, obviously, normally you do that so that you can get +1 on both, but they've they could only get the +1 because 9th, and B, it just allows me to now do something which I was trying to not have to do, but that is split fire, because I'm now going to be able to put 1 destroyer into this because I need it to die.
Agreed.
And then 2 destroyers into the Daemonettes.
Okay, so the averages have been calculated, and this is the most prudent method, but as we've seen already thus far today, what are averages when we're rolling like this?
Averages.
Yeah? So, what are we starting with then, Mr. Stig?
We'll start with the 1 guy.
Sure.
So 3s now, re-rolling 1s, 6s exploding.
Okay, re-roll that 1. The 2 effectively becomes a hit because of the divinations of the Magos.
Exactly.
Very nice.
Now it is strength 5.
Okay, so force to wound here. It is 2 wounds.
-3, so it goes to your invuln.
So straight onto my 5-up. Remember, I've already used a CP reroll. She is dead. Woo! She is dead twice over. She doesn't explode or anything, but that is vital because it is limiting my objective controlling. I'm still going to be holding more, but it's also a point for thin the ranks, and it's also a lot less speed to worry about. We'll go straight on to the 10 shots into the Daemonettes here. Can we get lucky and get rid of more of their number? Oh, that's pretty good. There's 5 6s in there already, and the 1s to reroll.
Is that cocked?
That will be cocked. There's no way you can put a dice on that and have it count. Okay, so 1 misses, but 5 additional hits. It looks like the gamble has paid off somewhat. So we have, what's that, 15 hits there? 14 hits?
What's that? Yeah, 10, 14.
Ouch, from 10 shots.
Yeah.
Divinations of the Magos. Oh, that's pretty grim.
Okay, yeah, so that is
12?
5, 10, 12.
Okay, 12 wounds. 1 for each of the girls that are in there. Now,
just fail them all, Chef.
I mean, let's be fair. That is kind of overdue. So,
on one side or the other.
Yeah. So 4-up saves here on my ladies. I do save a pretty heinous amount.
Oh, you did.
Only 4 a dropped Warp Surge, really paying off. But even without Warp Surge, I rolled incredibly well for my inbuns there. 4 have been slain. They are still rocking and rolling. All right, that was the shooting phase. We are bypassing the charge phase, and now we're in the fight phase. We'll kick off with the Fiends over here. I'm just going to roll it where there's a bit of space. Okay, the Fiends do drop 6 attacks there, which is about right. We do need 5s to wound, however, I'm just using my claws here. Cool, 1, 2, 3 6s. These are 2 damage each at AP4, so it's straight onto your Bionics.
So 3 6s.
No 6s. Okay. So that
They're
is...
2 damage each.
They are 2 damage.
So that 2 kill 1.
Yep.
And then 1 is on a 1 wound.
Okay, very good. That's them done. We then come over to the Seekers over here. So we've got 9 attacks with the gals on top. So obviously, it's all me, guys, because I'm Slaanesh, Quicksilver Swiftness. They hit you with 6 attacks, 6s to wound here, no wounds there. And then we have the steeds themselves with their lashing tongues, 8 attacks. That is 6 hits there, and these are 5s to wound. 4 wounds, no minus, though, from the tongues. They're just going to lick the side of your armor.
How did I drop 3 again? Oh, wow, come on.
Yo, you're doing a me.
Yeah.
Okay, 3, they lick the side, it's just starting to rust and corrode. It's pretty nasty. You do now have some attacks back, Stig.
Yeah, with that I am still on top profile.
Yes, you are.
I do not hit.
Hits. Okay, so then we've got 4 attacks over here.
Hitting on 4s.
Okay.
It doesn't re-roll in combat. It has 4 wounds. 3 wounds, sorry.
3 wounds, so 3 saves of 5 up here. Yep, you get 1.
Hey!
1 has been slain, 1 is down to 3 wounds remaining, but the battle will continue. That is then the end of the turn. Look, not a bad one. Little bit unlucky in places. Little bit unlucky in places. Really should have killed this gal a bit quicker, which would have opened up these guys and potentially one of these for shooting at other targets, but that is where we are. Killing a fiend in combat is quite cool. I appreciate that. And I approve.
I kind of wish that they were breachers at this point, because that would have been very funny.
Yeah, because you would have been doing like D3 damage or something?
Oh, you'd have been, yeah. It would have been a different story. You would not have just tapped into them, put it that way.
Oh, no, I would have done, because that's
well,
what
yeah, probably you would have done.
Yeah. So the Seekers have basically no morale to take. They only lost 1. These Seekers have only lost 1. Over there's no morale to take. There is a morale check to make here. I'm just going to spend the 2 CP for Insane Bravery. I don't want to have to mess about with morale at this stage. It's not worth the risk of trying to get a 1 and bring some back, which, as fun as it is, it's not really likely to happen. And also, quite frankly, I need these gals here. So Stig did pick up 4 points within the ranks there, because he's killed over 20 of these girls, as well as various Seekers, and each of the chariots, as mentioned, is worth a point each because they have over 10 wounds. So not a bad start there. However, I am going to pick up a bunch of primary points, and I begin to descend even further down upon you, Stig. Fear them. Fear them.
Chef?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a terrible human being.
What's going on over here?
She had a 24-inch move, mate.
She did, didn't she?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got her with her lovely 24-inch move. She's gone all over the shop to be able to come down there. This chariot has moved forward, did advance, is obviously in range for being able to charge as well. We've also got the Daemonette unit that just kind of slivered their way forward to be within 3 of that objective there.
Just underneath, but I had just enough movement to do it. So, and that was including going over the barricade, which is good.
The Epitome has moved forward. Epitome, is that right?
Yes, the Contorted Epitome
has moved forward for some psychic shenanigans.
Indeed.
This Daemonette unit got a very good advance roll, and they're moved right into this center corridor here. These Fiends got not so well on their advance, but they are still within range to be able to charge still as well. Oh, and this Daemonette unit absolutely legged it forward.
Yeah.
I don't feel too good about these doggos. Oh, we have just forgotten to move those, so they will move round, because they're going to block off the doggos as well.
No escape.
If it wasn't looking dire enough for those raiders, it really is now. So yes, right. That's nice. Anything else happened in your command phase that we need to talk about?
No, because we're in old codex. Nothing happens in the command phase
Nothing.
at the moment. So one day we'll have stuff that will probably happen in there, but it is not this day.
You have enough toys as it is at the moment.
It's true.
Shall we move on to the shooting phase?
No, we've got psychic to do.
Oh, right. I thought we were going to skip that. No? You sure? You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay, coming up right next. So I had to ask Chef several times what this thing's called. It's the Herald on Hellflayer.
Herald on Hellflayer.
And that's who we're starting with.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Delightful Agonies.
Onto this Daemonette unit in the centre of the board.
Indeed. Yes, because it's cast on a 5, I believe. 6 up shrug for them.
It's really good, really easy casting.
So then we will go over to the Contorted Epitome. We're going to cast Phantasmagoria. So this is a 12-inch bubble of -1 leadership. Yes.
Which goes off.
Yes, we will, because she gets a +1 anyway. So
does that go off on a 6?
I believe it goes off on a 6, but either way I get a +1 to cast. So not quite them and not quite them, but importantly, these two.
What do you mean importantly? What comes up next?
Well, when she charges, if you're within 6, I've got to roll 3d6 and equal or beat your leadership. So now your leadership like 6, aren't you? Then you can't fall back, which is good. So next then we are going to do, she's going to do Cacophonic Choir upon this boat here.
What does that one do?
This is the leadership and the difference bubble.
Right, okay.
So let's see if we cast it. We do. We don't cast it on with the +2 to the result because it needs to be more than 10, even though she has a built-in +1, so it doesn't go off. But your leadership is 6 now, right?
I believe so. I can double check in just a second.
Yeah, because of that -1. But we'll roll the 2d6. Cool, so that is 9. So whatever your leadership so 9 take away whatever your leadership is now is how many mortal wounds you take.
Okay. I was also just holding out to see if I was going to use a CP to do the 5 up ignore mortal wounds, but probably not worth it if the maximum is going to be 3.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that be. I'll double check the leadership in a second. What do we have coming up next?
We will go to my main gal there, the Exalted Keeper of Secrets. She's going to cast Hysterical Frenzy upon my Fiends, so they immediately get to attack.
Don't like this one.
That does not go off because it is Warp Charge 8, so I am going to spend a CP to re-roll that.
Okay.
Because it's not vital to my plan.
But it's kind of important. Oh, okay.
Keeping it
One's
tense
off the
here.
board.
Keeping it tense. It goes off.
Oh, there we go.
So they immediately get to fight now because they're within an inch. So
We'll be right back.
here we go.
So my brain was kind of a little bit muddled, and I was thinking, I'm sure the leadership's pretty decent, but I didn't want to correct Chef on camera because how can I correct Chef? Because he always knows everything.
It's not true. It's not true, but it's one of those weird ones where you kind of go, but the normal like Skitarii leadership sort of 6 or 7, right?
Yeah.
So you presume that they're going to be about the same, but they're really not.
So this being a vehicle's leadership 8, plus because of the enhanced data tether, it actually gets +1 leadership. To be honest, I'm actually just double checking now while you're looking at this, because he's in range of the other one that is there, would he not go to leadership 10?
No, because
it
it's
doesn't
the same.
stack.
It's the same rule. Anything that's the same rule
So
doesn't
cool,
stack.
right? But it does
Unless
mean
it explicitly says, then it doesn't.
But it does mean it's only 1 mortal wound that he's taken.
Yeah, I mean, I would have done a smite otherwise, but never mind.
Yeah,
Which
is pretty nice. But anyway, we are going to come over to attack over here because that reroll was well spent.
Indeed. So we are looking for freeze.
Okay.
That's pretty good. We are still looking for 5s, however.
Yeah. See what happens
This is
here.
this is the downside. Okay.
Okay.
So we do get 1 wound at -1, and then 2 at like -4. So onto your bionics.
Okay, I'm going to do the bionics first because
Sure.
these need 6s. That looks pretty cocked, to be honest.
Okay.
So cool. They have both gone through. And then I need, oh gosh, shaky camera, apologies.
It's a tough one.
And that is the other one at -1 that's gone through. So 1 is dead and 1 is down to 1 wound. And by 1 left and 1 wound, of course I meant, 2 damage, and therefore they're both dead. So yeah, this flank is looking a little bit scary all of a sudden. Where are we going next?
We're going to do a smite. We're just going to cast a smite into your Doom Rider. It does go off.
Yep. And
1 mortal wound. Very well.
Down to 10. And we're into a little bit of a shooting phase. I keep joking about him. He actually has now a shooting phase.
The whippy phase.
Woo!
So we're going to whip over there with the Exalted Chariot. It is 5 whips at you, sir. They are ballistic skill free, and it is an assault weapon. So 4s, because I did advance. Very good.
Oh, wow.
We'll whip over there with the Hellflayer on your...
Pun intended?
Cerberus Raiders. 1 whip.
Oh, good.
Which misses because I advanced it, even though I ballistic skill 2. Cool, very good. We'll go straight into the charge phase.
I enjoyed that shooting phase, Chef. I enjoyed it a lot. And we're into the charge phase. And of course, with that movement that we saw at the end of the movement phase, he blocked me off. So I've got no way to run away with my doggos. And we're starting over there, is that right?
Yeah, we're going to go on to the Seekers. Yep, that's all I need. So we're just going to go like that. What we're going to do next is, actually we're going to go over to the Hellflayer. She's going to ride on over and go into the Doom Rider.
Okay.
So it is a -2, of course.
Yeah. So a 9. I think that...
So 7 technically.
It's going to be close.
It is going to be a bit close. I don't know if that's going to be enough, quite frankly, because I've come on...
We're doing it live.
Bearing in mind, I have to go...
I can't get quite over to show you guys.
Let me measure it off camera.
We'll
I
measure it
don't
up
think
properly.
I've made it. I don't think I've made it.
We'll measure it up properly and come back. No.
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 Not for me.
Not for you.
Yeah, I'm like half an inch out of being within an inch, so alas.
It's what happened.
No charge.
It's what happened.
The Daemonettes are going to charge, however. Yes, they advance, but obviously there's a character nearby. Into the...
Oh, come round.
What are they? Cerberus Raiders.
Yes.
So I do get +1 here because I've got an icon.
So a 5, which is absolutely fine.
Let me move them in.
Yeah, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt a lot. There's a lot of them that can actually be able to get in. And there's a lot of movement still with the pile-in. So yeah, that's going to be a problem. Coming over to the Epitome now.
I'm actually going to do the Daemonettes first.
Okay, moving on to these Daemonettes in the centre.
Yep, just into this boat here.
Boating at boat face.
Yes.
Good.
Ooh, let me have a quick look, actually.
Ooh.
That's way too long of a charge. Yeah, just into the boat.
Okay, into the Dune Rider. A 7 obviously will do it. It was a double 1 to get in. We'll move then and see where we go next. Okay, we've moved in over here. We're coming over to the Epitome now. Now, we did talk about whether she also made the charge into here. We would have obviously left space. This was during this. However, Chef has decided that she's going to go into this boating boat face on this side instead.
It was an 11-inch charge.
Yeah,
didn't feel confident enough to do it.
Better place potentially from a defensive perspective because of line of sight blocking, etc. However, yeah, an 11-inch charge is an 11-inch charge.
Yes.
Even when you get a +1 with her.
Nope, no +1. The reason why they got the +1 is because of the musician.
Okay, so yeah, an 11 is just so unreliable. It's going to be a problem.
Really is.
However, she does have enough to ruin this Dune Rider's day all by her lonesome. So we'll see what happens next.
Yeah, so into that Dune Rider there. An 8.
An 8.
So that
well
is
and
definitely
truly in.
enough. I'm just pondering where I can put her.
Because of the barricade or because of the...
So the barricade would be a -2, so that would actually mean that I would be ending my move on top of it, which I can't do, so I'd be there anyway. So...
This is me learning on the job, folks. Learning 9th edition on my 3rd ever game.
Yep.
Trying to kind of figure it out.
2 inches there, 2 inches up, 2 inches long, 2 inches down. With an 8-inch move, but can I fit, basically? I cannot fit, so I must go here. Well, I say I must go there. I'm going to go there. But I am just within 6 there to give them the +1 strength, so that's fine.
So that still works out.
Indeed. So then what we're going to do is we're going to do the chariot, and the chariot is going to attempt to charge through this gap here, over the barricade, into that. Now,
Getting involved.
Don't know what I need, but it's probably quite a lot.
Yes.
Because obviously it's -2, and to get my rear over, I basically need a double 6 here.
Yeah, this is more about the movement potential rather than the actual damage.
Yeah, so 6 inches is not going to be enough to get me over it, and yeah, it's not going to happen. So, that's fine. We'll do the Fiends. The Fiends are going to charge into Daedalus.
Just into Daedalus.
Just into Daedalus.
Okay.
Oh no! No, they're not, because that's a 1-inch charge thanks to the ruins, thanks to the crater.
A little bit of a think.
Okay, so we're how far away are we? We are 4 inches away, so I need a 6. It's pretty crucial to make the charges over here, so I'm going to reroll it. Thank goodness.
Oof.
A 7 is enough for my plan to come into effect.
Okay, we had to have a little bit of a thinking going on here because originally Chef was thinking to bring this lady over the top of the barricade into this Dominus. However, having to declare against Daedalus as well, and the barricade, and actually I'm just thinking as well because of the crater.
I would have to slightly step foot into the crater, so it would be a -4 to my charge.
Which just is so unreliable, it's just too much.
Even with my +1.
Exactly, so we're going to go into this Dune Rider in the centre instead.
We're going to play it a bit safer.
And we're well and truly, even with the -2, that's going in without any problems. With the +1, of course.
Yes. So 6 inches just gets me over the edge from the rear of my base here. Hello there. That also protects my Contorted Epitome because she's now going to be within 3 inches of a big monster, which is good.
Is there anything left to charge?
Yes, we're going to charge with the Fiends, and we're going to charge into those chickens.
Okay, so I'm going to use a stratagem for Cognos Overwatch.
I thought you might.
Which for 1 CP means that I can fire on my full ballistic skill.
So do you need to spend the CP to Overwatch as well?
Oh, that's a great question. Let's have a look at the wording. Of course, being an old book, it does say when this unit fires Overwatch, so therefore I had to spend a CP to be able to fire Overwatch,
yep.
And now a CP to fire Cognos Overwatch, which means I fire out my ballistic skill. Now, changes in Ninth means that I still get to use the reroll wands from the Dominus, and I'll also be using the Explodes. So this will be freeze, rerolling wands, 6s, explode.
Yeah.
So I've dropped a couple, so I'm going to pick those up
and
and we'll come back. Okay, so we've got 3 2s so far. 1 went off the table, which is a 5, so that's hit.
Nice.
This 1 we will re-roll.
Okay.
4.
So they all hit.
They all hit, basically, is what we get from that.
Goody.
Now, I can't use the +1 to wound because it's in the shooting phase, but they're already wounding on 2s anyway.
Yes.
I have just dropped a dice, so I'm going to re-roll one of these. And
okay.
Wow, okay. So there's actually a few ones in there. So that is 4, 5, 6, 7.
7. Okay, so
and we're going to have to disinfect this model because I touched it.
It's fine. We'll swap it around. We didn't declare Warp Surge on them, so it's just 5 up invites. What's wrong with us? Okay, so 4 have gone through.
4 have gone through. I have 4. Well, I'm going to have to do these one at a time.
Will.
Let me come back. Give me 2 seconds. Apologies, guys. I felt that was getting a little messy, so I wanted to start again. So, we've got 4 wounds that have gone through. There was 4 in the unit, and they are 4 wounds each. So
4s.
4s. First one's dead. Second one is dead.
Not like this.
Third one is dead. Oh, oh! So do I use a CP on that? Yes, I think I do, because this could make a really big difference. Oh, he has 1 wound left.
Okay.
This poor lad was surrounded by his mates, and now he's by himself, and he's really hurting.
No mates anymore.
No. So what does he need to do to avoid that? That cratery, bunkery bit.
It's an 8-inch charge.
It's an 8-inch charge. So after all that, does he make it? Oh no!
Well,
a 3.
fine.
Okay.
Oh well, it's worth the risk.
Oh, that was a big CP spend, but I think it looks like it might have paid off a little bit.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay, we come back in the fight phase. So at the end of the charge phase, I did heroically intervene with the Dominus. It is scary because their weapons can chew through him. However, it does stop a categoric pile in to touch the this Dakabot. So at least now he has to chew through him. It's a problem because I like those exploding 6s, but yeah, hopefully he can survive and stop my Dakabots from getting the bad touch. We shall see.
Okay. How many wounds does he have?
He has 5 wounds, I believe.
Toughness 5?
Toughness 4.
Really?
I'm going to maybe say that's the other way around and I've got confused.
I think Daemonettes is toughness 4 because he's like a baby
He's definitely
priest.
toughness 4. Let me just double check my numbers and come back. No, I somehow was right. I mean, that doesn't happen very often, but he is toughness 4 with 5 wounds. Okay. He has a 2-up armor so and a 5-up invuln, so we'll see what happens. How are you splitting these attacks?
Right, well, first of all, my piling then, so I have to go
Yes.
towards the closest. So essentially, I go, preferably without the claw knocking anything over. There. I'm now within half an inch of half an inch. I'm going to declare all of my attacks on your Dominus.
Right.
Because he's heroically intervened. I'm allowed to do so.
Absolutely.
And I'm just going to use all of my snapping claws because it's far more reliable than D3 damage.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'll take the 2 damage. Unless it gives me +1 strength, which I don't believe it does. It doesn't. If it did,
That would be a question at that point.
tail.
Yeah.
Because I can only make 1 attack with it anyway. It is -3, which is nice, but
Yeah. We'll put him back onto his 5 up either way.
2 up is, damage 2 is just far more reliable.
100%, especially with 5 wounds.
Yes, so here we go, we're hitting on freeze. Okay, we do drop a bunch, we drop a 5. If we can get that again, however...
it's what's the... Oh, wow,
only
okay.
One wound. The plan has failed. Okay.
What's the minus on this one?
It's -1.
So there's -1, so it's a 3 up save. And I have rolled a 5.
The plan has failed.
Oh, we'll give him a time to think. We're coming over to the Epitome next. So she's obviously putting all of her attacks into this poor Boaty McBoatface.
Yep.
This Dune Rider in the centre is going to, yeah, could be interesting.
Maybe. So we'll start with the Ravaging Claws. 8 of them. We hit you 7 times. It's 5s to wound because I'm strength 5. Cool, that's 2 wounds at -4 because it's rending and flat 2 damage.
So I don't get a save against -4 because it's a 3 up armour.
Okay.
So 4 wounds gone through. She has 6 left.
And now the Coiled Tentacles. Both hit. We're looking for 4s to wound because it's strength 6. Only the 1 wound at -2. This is 3 damage.
Okay, so this would put... Oh,
Doesn't
makes
matter.
the save, but would have put down to 1 wound. But
Okay.
it's okay. 4 wounds left.
Cool.
Okay, so there's a lot of ladies in here.
Yeah.
Chef has kept these ones hanging out the back so we still get the strength 4 from the Epitome, because otherwise would have been wounded on 6s. So now it's going to be 5s and 6s. But
Yes.
essentially, it's this big old barrel of dice twice. With some rerolls and stuff as well?
Yeah, so essentially I've got 27 dice here. We don't have any more green gem, unfortunately, because I've lost some. I'm sorry.
They're somewhere.
They're somewhere under everything. And I've got 57 attacks, so 19 in range, 3 attacks each.
Now,
so I'm going to do this twice and reroll 3 misses in the second batch.
And there was a stratagem that you could have used at the start of the combat phase, but we didn't think that we were going to need it.
Yeah, Locus of Grace, which I would have done it on the Epitome, so everyone within 6 would get an extra attack on a wound roll of a 6, but...
You know, it's happened.
Oh no!
I wouldn't be as far as say as mistakes were made. It's just, it probably is still enough, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So, round 1, hitting on freeze. Right. Well,
we'll pick up
so you know the 3 that I said I was going to reroll? I'll just do them now.
Yeah.
That's 26 hits so far.
Yeah. What was this about averages, Chef?
I don't know, they don't apply in our games.
No, they really, really don't.
That does not make up for it in the slightest. My gosh.
Okay,
I have dropped a total of 8 attacks.
Yeah. So mathematics are going out the window in this game, it appears. So we've got 25 in this first batch and then 24 after that.
The 25. Okay.
5s and 6s. 6s are the rending, so that's they're not a lot of fun.
So there's just 3 wounds and then 6 saves at -1 so far.
Okay.
And then 24.
I can see a couple of 6s.
Okay, the one that fell off the board. Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 8 wounds so far.
Okay.
From all the rending.
So he's got 4 wounds left.
And then it is another 3, so 9 saves at -1.
Okay, 9 4-up saves coming right up. And Chef's going under the table.
Finding my dice.
He might be back. We'll find out.
Maybe.
So Daemonettes killing a tank.
That's weird.
It's weird, right? So we've got 9 4-up saves to make.
Oh,
I can see. Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's dead.
It's so dead. It's so dead. Yeah. Let's come back with an explosion. Okay. So 2 stratagems being used now. Emergency disembarkation. I think it's
evacuation protocols.
That's it. Yeah. Not that one. Evacuation protocols. The 0 CP.
Yeah,
I tried to say 3 CP, but that doesn't sound right. The 0 CP, just essentially get out of Dodge and don't worry about losing any models. Which was important, but because with these boxes, with the Daemonettes themselves, with this barricade, being able to get out was quite tough. A unit of 10 would have probably lost a model, funnily enough, because there was only just enough space to squeeze this unit of 9 plus the Manipulus's massive base and tentacles.
Doesn't help that he's a fat man.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big lad, isn't he? But because I also used Machine Spirit as Revenge, it means that we're going to do some D3 Mortals now. Bye-bye. In all honesty, he's not very happy about this.
It's very rude. He just wanted to go and give you a little snip.
Yeah, and the thing is that those Fiends are so much... to be honest, if it was just him and the Daemonettes, I'd probably have spent the 1 CP purely to stop him being able to tag stuff, because he, not being able to fall back is massive. But it is going to get the Daemonettes, of course. It is going to get my Dune Rider here. Yep. It is not going to get the Epitome. It's literally about 3 millimeters away. However, it does get this lady here. Yeah. And that's kind of important if I get a free. It will, of course, get these destroyers. Hopefully I don't roll too high there. And it will just touch these Iron Striders. To be honest, I think it's worth it. Yeah. I think it's worth it.
Killing the Fiend alone, I think, is worth it. Yeah. It's a risk on the destroyers, sure.
Yeah, the destroyers are the one that's the most scary. Yeah. I mean, let's face it, if she wants this guy dead, he's going to die anyway. So she could just look at him at this point and she's going to do those 4 wounds. So it's not going to matter there, but it's the destroyers that could be a problem. So let's start with rolling my stuff, shall we? Just to see how much damage we do, and then we'll get to the more exciting Daemonette stuff. So on the Iron Striders.
Very nice.
1. On the Destroyers.
Oh.
Okay, that's not what I wanted, which was 1 goes, but okay. On the Dune Rider that's hiding over here. Excuse the shaky camera work. 2, so 2 wounds left over there. The Daemonettes, how many of these girls do? Well, they've got 6 of shrugs, that way?
They do have the shrug at the moment, yes.
So let's see how many have to make that. Just the 1.
Nope, 1 is slain if...
Let's take 1 up. And then on this lady
on the big lass.
Here. Oh, just the 1.
Does
disappointing.
Her shining Aegis flare into life? It does not. She takes away. She's down to 15.
Down to 15. But there we go. Big old explosion. Let's mark these up. And we've consolidated into the Manipulus and the priests over here. And we have then piled in with the big lady.
Yes.
She's going, yeah, this is going to hurt.
Yeah.
Stabby sword is this way.
All of the stabbings. So we have the Witstealer sword. We hit you 6 times. We then wound you on freeze because it's strength 9, thanks to the Contorted Epitome nearby as well. Yeah, I mean, it's -3, so you do get a save.
Okay.
I'm re-rolling 1s naturally because I am a precision killer. 5 wounds.
I'll roll some.
You just took 15 damage.
Yeah.
Does this one explode?
We'll find out. Go on. Can we get a 6? Oh, it was a 5.
Okay.
Right, we'll see. I'm going to have to pick up lots of dice to see if these guys survive because I don't get to emergency twice. So again, this is an interesting one from my perspective as a new 9th player because the Holy Within thing makes a big difference. So it means that I've only been able to get 7 of the 10 models out. So now I will roll 7 dice. And we'll see what lives. Any 1s? We dropped 2, so that is 1 of the units wholly out and 1 unit gone. I might just change that around. I'll think about that in a second. But now we need to see if we explode.
Did you not roll for that already?
No, I did do that because it was a 5. It did, yeah. So now I can remove that and we will see what Chef does with his consolidation. We're coming on over to the Seekers. Oh, by the way, I did keep the second plasma over here. It was a better idea. So 1 unit lost 1 guy and the other unit lost 4 guys. So we're coming over to these Seekers now.
Yes.
Into the Raiders.
Into the Raiders. Not bad. We are within range of the Herald now, so we do get a +1 strength, which is good. So freeze to wound. That's very cocked. Okay, very nice. That is 5 at -1 and 1 at -4.
Okay, we'll do the 5 at -1 first. I'll put that one there. Right, 5 at -1. 2 have gone through. 1 at -4, which should be a 6 bionics. There's a 5, so it does go through. So 3, that kills 1 raider.
And now my licky tongues.
Licky tongues.
Okay. And now it's 3 swings, strength 4. 4 wounds, no minuses here.
4 wounds at 4 up. So 2 go through, that puts another one down to 1 wound. So for reference, this one on this side has got 1 wound left. I've not bothered marking up because I don't think he's going to be around for very long. We have 6 ladies that are in range, which turns into 18 attacks.
Indeed, because of Graceful Killers. Do drop 6, that's about right. And then it is freeze to win because of the Herald and the strength 4. Okay, so those go to your bionics, because of rending, and then that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 saves at -1.
Oh wow, okay. Let me grab a handful of saves. Right, so we've got 2 that are 6s.
Yep.
1 makes and 1 doesn't, so he's still dead. And then I'm just going to do a handful of saves on the alpha. Was the -1?
This is -1.
-1, so that's 5s anyway. And so he's very dead.
Cool.
That's the unit wiped. We have claws and licky tongues going to go into this eventual Dune Rider. This Dune Rider has just done nothing all game.
Yeah.
He's just been rusted.
Yeah, it's just
by
being
strange.
accosted.
Yeah, I mean I don't even want to talk about it.
I mean, yeah, I suspect he doesn't want to talk about it either.
No.
Okay, so we do drop 4. We are, however, strength 4 now, thanks to the Herald. So we are wounding on 5s now. Okay, so 2 wounds go straight through because it's -4, and those are at -1.
So 4s. Okay, fine.
Nice.
So but it's now down to 5 wounds.
And now the licky tongues.
Brilliant.
We do drop 3 there from the tongues. 5 wounds, strength 4. 2 wounds, no minuses though.
2 wounds, no minus. 1 off the board, 1's been saved, and another one.
Fear the tongues of licking!
Brilliant. So 3 wounds have gone through this time, down to 4 wounds. So pile-ins have happened over here. We should mention that the big lady was not quite within base to base.
Couldn't make it.
Wanting to be able to tag the destroyers meant there was just a fraction, which did mean that I got a little bit of movement on this priest here, which just keeps me outside of the 6-inch bubble for the... Oh, I've forgotten her name now.
The Contorted Epitome.
Thank you.
Her horrible fascination.
Because that could have been a big problem. If I couldn't fall back from this big lady going into the next turn, it could be a problem. But anyway, before we get to that, we do have some Electro Priest attacks into the Daemonettes, and of course the Manipulus, which should be fun. I'm looking forward to see what he does, if anything. But first of all, with 8 being able to go into the Daemonettes, we have 16 attacks hitting on 3s.
Oh, it's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Dropped 4. I did look to see whether I could change Canticle to give the +1 strength to wound them on 2s, but unfortunately it's 2 CP and I only have 1 left at the moment. So we are looking for 3s, but more importantly we're looking for 6s because those...
You can reroll those misses though. You got Prime Horizon.
Oh, thank you very much. Good point, Chef. Well remembered. I'm glad you remember my army. Okay,
so
good.
close to a full house.
So that's all right then. Now, if I can pick these up, let's see if that's possible. Whey!
That's right, just reroll
I've
2.
dropped 2. So now 3s, but we're looking for some 6s.
Oh, baby!
Okay, I'm going to re-roll these 2 ones because the fact that they fell off the board. Another 6 and those. Okay, so 1 failed. We have all of these 6s that are D3 mortal wounds. So there's 5 times D3 mortals.
Is that instead of? Or?
It's instead of. So I'm just going to do these mortals first, and then you would then have, what's that, 6, 7 demon saves. So in fact, do you want to do the 7 demon saves first? That's the right order, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So demon saves, 5 ups. I do pass
That's all
3
right.
of them, so 4 go for it, and they're D3 damage.
They're
aren't they?
D3 damage
So
on the normal ones.
You will need to roll for them because I've got the shrug. So that
Okay, right. So
bit awkward, I know, but
right. So okay, I'm going to put my mortals over there. We'll come back to those. So we've got shrugs.
Yes.
It was 4 that went through.
4 that went through.
Okay, so the first one is 1.
Dead.
And next one.
Dead.
Next one.
Dead.
Oop, sorry guys, I didn't
It was
quite
a 6,
get that.
a 5, and a 4 for what it was worth.
And the next one is
No, stranger things have happened. 4 have died so far.
Okay.
And now mortal wound.
I at least can roll these all at the same time because they'll all be shrugged equally. So
Yes.
5 times D3. Let's put it in this crater just for ease.
Oh.
Okay, that's not what we wanted, but it is 4, 5, 6, 7.
I don't shrug any.
Okay.
7 have they just explode in a
So that's
smattering of
11
electricity.
killed in total.
Yeah, it's pretty cheeky.
That's not too bad, and we do have the Manipulus to attack next.
Yes.
The Manipulus is going next. Now this is going to be slightly awkward, forgive me on this. So he has 3 attacks based with his, it's an Omniscient staff rather than axe. So it's strength 5 essentially rather than strength 6, I think the normal one is. So hitting on 3s re-rolling because of himself, luckily. So he has hit twice with this. This will be freeze to wound. So 2 wounds at 2 damage.
Okay, so both go through. The first shrug fails, second shrug also fails.
So that's 2
more
no's.
slain.
Now he has D6 additional attacks with Mechadendrites. So this one. So 3 again. So 3 attacks hitting on 3s, re-rolling, but doesn't need to re-roll. These are strength user, so strength 4, so 3s. Only the 1 here. Saved. And then this is the next is his Relic pseudo generator, which is another D6 attacks. He's over there, look. I will actually film him, I promise. So D6 additional. Okay,
nice.
This is 5 this time.
Nice.
I've only got 3 in my hand and I can't reach my pockets, so let's see what's going on. So he's hit the first few. He's hit the first 3 and we need to make 2 more. There we go. Okay. He's hit all of them. These are again strength. Well, these are strength 4 specifically, rather than strength user. I have dropped a die.
Oh no!
Oh no! You look at something nice over there. Look, look at that. Look at this nice. So these ones are re-rolling wounds. So it should be freeze re-rolling. So re-roll those 3 failed wounds. Yes, 3. Brilliant.
That's
I'll
better.
go through. So 5 minus 1 for what it's worth.
I do save 2 of them. Damages.
Just 1.
Okay, so Delightful Agonies saves none. So another 2 have been slain. You also forgot to do this chap against my big lady.
Yes, of course. So he has 2 attacks going in against her. I mean, she's not small. I should have been able to remember that she was there. So first one, we'll have to re-roll. Both of them re-roll. I'm just going to use 2 new dice. So we've hit once.
No hits. She's -1 to hit in combat.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
So, that's...
Just on the off chance you got some mortal wounds through.
Yeah. Coming back over here, and we're going to start with Daedalus. He has 2 attacks with his Arco Claw, hitting on 4s. Okay, good. 1. And it should be 4s to wound. And he wounds with a 5.
I save on a 5.
Lovely.
Indon for demons.
We now come over to the Dominus himself. I can just about get another dice, potentially. Oh, if you could see the manipulations that I'm having to do behind the camera just to get 3 dice. God.
Yeah.
Apologies, guys, for shaky camera work. Anyway, so with the Dominus, we have 3 attacks hitting on 3s. He hits twice. He will be wounding on 3s. He has wounded twice, -2, 2 damage for what it's worth. But
2 damage, okay. 1 goes down to 1 wound remaining. I think that's it. Oh no, you've got some
token
attacks.
D3 attacks over here because he's on his middle profile.
Yep.
So 1 attack hitting on a 6 does not hit.
Okay. I mean, that was a pretty horrific turn for everyone involved.
There's not a lot left on the board in either side, really.
Not really. I do have a big old chunk on this flank,
yeah.
but it's
there is a lot
there.
over there, but it's got to get there without getting destroyed.
Yes.
This is, you know, she's not small and she's a bit of a problem.
Yes.
I can't even see her behind there. She is. I can see her. She's in there somewhere. She's a bit of a problem. That demon unit, is morale going to be a problem now?
Morale is definitely an issue for them.
So
I needed one.
Okay. Okay, let's work this out.
It's cocked.
It's cocked. We roll it.
Okay, so they still fail.
Still
so
fail.
One runs away. We are way below half strength. So that means we've got 1, 2, 3.
Ones and twos on
4,
what's left.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 in there. Yeah, so ones and twos.
Man Counts live on YouTube.
Indeed. 1,
Or
2,
on
3,
demand,
4, 5,
whichever
6,
this being be.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Here we go.
Ones and twos.
Ooh,
Okay, that's...
lose another
yeah.
5.
Okay.
Savage.
Ooh. Yeah, that could be a problem for these guys over here. We'll come back in just a second. Just got morale to do over here. We've got the 2 units of Vanguard. So we've got the one that's 1 plasma lone gunner alive. He needs a 1. And he gets a 2. So close, but not quite. And the other unit needs anything but a 6. So close again. But they will make it out alive for now.
Turn 2 movement for the Ad Mech. We've jumped out with this unit of Vanguard here. We are just within 3 inches of the objective. It has now been stolen from me. Very upset about this turn of events. We've disembarked and moved up with this unit of Vanguard here. All of them are in range of these Daemonettes. They must be dealt with. They are going to be worth points. The Ballisters have moved up and are in range of the Tech Priest Dominus and Daedalosus. For whatever that's worth. Now, they obviously could not fall back because of the sporific musk of the Fiends, that's what they're called.
Those things.
We have remained still with the Dakabots because they are in that mode. They cannot move for any reason.
They can.
We've fallen back with the Destroyers here. Just enough movement to go down and across, avoiding engagement range with the Big Lady and the Daemonettes as well. Otherwise, they would have just gone along the top there, but vertical engagement is a thing.
Being troops, they of course got me primary points at the start because the objective is right under that lady.
Yes, they were in range, and you had more models in range anyway, thanks to the priests, and you also gained 3 points last turn in my turn for in the ranks. Yeah. So you know that's just how it goes with killing stuff in combat. We've not fallen back because we weren't in combat range, but we've moved up there with the Vanguard looking to escape the Epitome. But we have fallen back with the Electro Priests so that my big lass is targetable. So if all goes well for Stig here, this could be a pretty devastating turn, a very nasty counterpunch, and really kind of almost put me on the back foot. However, we'll have to see what happens. So we do just a little bit of bookkeeping. We didn't mention it last turn, guys, because it wasn't really pertinent. Stig rolled for his Canticles, and it was Shroud's Arm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I did keep Shroud's Arm and got rid of number 2.
The
Ad Mech players know.
Litany.
Yeah, it's the one that you never ever do because you have to be in combat, then you have to roll a 6 to then be able to do D3 mortal wounds.
Yeah, it's poo.
As pointless as Shroud's Arm is, there are obviously AP1 stuff, so I mean it was vaguely better. However, it didn't make any difference this time. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of why I did that.
Okay, so that is the movement phase. Now we're going to go into the shooting phase, but sort of at the top of that, we've got some stuff to do. Now here's the fun fact, guys. I'm just out of range of the Dominus with the Forbidden Gem, so I can't do it on him. I could do it on Daedalosus, which would actually be quite key because I would turn off his +1 to hit. However, Order of Operations and Sequencing rules specifically state that whoever's player turn it is gets to choose the order of that stuff. And that is done at the start of the shooting phase, as well as the Forbidden Gem. So Stig, would you like me to do the Forbidden Gem first, or would you like to pick a target for your +1 to hit first?
I'd like to have the +1 to hit, please.
Very good. So now the question remains, do I want to do the Forbidden Gem on him because he still has his Archaeotech device And that is just a flat D3 mortal wounds.
D3 mortal wounds, yeah.
So you know
Once
what?
per battle.
I am going to try and turn that off.
I should say that the looking funny is obviously at the epitome itself.
That makes sense. So the reason why that's really important, guys, is because that will give the Dakabots +1 to hit against her, whilst leaving enough CP for Doctrina Imperative on the Ballistari to negate the -1 to hit from the dense cover here on the Keeper of Secrets. So yeah, you got to play the rules correctly with the sequencing. So that's how it is. As unfortunate as it would be to not be able to turn him off now. I would have loved to have turned off the Dominus because then no doubles, no sixes and no re-rolling ones, but alas, not in range. I am going to try and turn off Daedalosus because if I can just make sure that one stays alive, it's better than nothing.
Absolutely.
So his leadership will now be 7 because of Phantasmagoria.
I'm sure we just checked it as being 8. I will check it. You roll it anyway while I check.
And,
it is leadership 8.
It is leadership 8, so leadership 7 because of Phantasmagoria. I am going to do it now because, quite frankly, I don't think I'm going to have an opportunity to do it in a moment. Here we go. Yeah, he can't do his ability because
so
I rolled
wounds.
a high. I rolled high, so no mortal wounds because it specifically states no mortal wounds, and it also means he can't shoot this phase, so no pistol from him.
Yeah. Now, interesting. Does that just like remove that ability because it's a one-off thing, or it just says you can't do it?
Because the order of sequencing is you've done your look funny,
and then you did
I've
your
done
thing.
the forbidden gem, so you've not actually gotten
So
round to declaring it.
I still have it, but
For
just
now.
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't use it now.
Basically, you can't do anything this phase.
Yeah.
I misread it in the last game that I did it, where I misread it as you can't do anything until the end of the phase, which I read as you are still able to like cast powers and shoot and move and all that. In which case, I was like, it's actually a bit rubbish. And then a lot of you guys corrected me, so thank you for that. Occasionally, I do misread the rules. That's the admin done. That's the movement done. It's now the shooting phase. It's very important for Stig. Let's see if he can do the business. We kick off the shooting phase with this boat here. Just as an addendum, I am going to do Warp Surge on these ladies here. Reason being is because I've done the maths, and quite frankly, with all of that double tapping shots into the Contorted Epitome, she's going to die even with a 4+. So it's just not worth it. If they weren't double tapping, I would actually probably do it on her. But yeah, the double tap just really swings it in his favour.
Yeah.
So, here we go.
Over here, 5s because of middle profile and in combat. I did wonder about spending the CP to fire on top profile, but it wasn't really worth it, and it wouldn't have made any difference. So 2.
2 wounds there, 1 is slain, and that is that.
Yay!
This unit of Vanguard into the Warp Surge Daemonettes, their only real target and also the most important one.
Yeah.
So this is the
freeze, first of all.
Okay, so the carbine here. Not bad at all.
Now it's 4s, but 6s are 2 damage, so for the shrugs is kind of important. So we've got 2 at 2 damage and 2.
Okay, so the 1 damage ones, I fail both, and then Delightful Agonies, I do save 1.
Cool.
And then the 2 damage ones, I fail both. So the first one, dead.
Nearly died.
Second one is also dead. So 3 have been slain. Now the plasma.
Hits twice.
Very nice.
Oh, great.
Okay.
It would 1 wound.
1 wound. Warp Surge. Oh dear, the Warp Surge has not done much today. 3. It's only damage 1, yeah. So the shrug does not shrug. So 4 in total have been cut down. Oh dear. This unit of Vanguard, the Warp Surge Daemonettes, can they get a little bit more luck this time?
Well, yeah,
Okay, maybe.
I'd like those 6s
You
again.
get that
That'd
again.
be really nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
So 1 at 2
1.
damage
Okay.
and 1.
The 1 damage is saved. The 2 damage is not saved, of course. To shrug, double 6. No, 1 is slain. The plasma.
Both hits. Both wounds.
Okay, so 4 ups here. Remember, I've already lost 1. 1 goes through. And it is shrugged on a 6. So only 1 slain thus far. Very nice for me. And the Vanguard unit there. Look down. Can they finish the job? Let's find out.
They were not happy about what they did to their boat.
No, I wouldn't be either.
They are not in any reroll ranges. Okay,
So is it just 2 damage?
2 at 2 damage.
Okay, so 4 up in buns. Okay. The first one, no. The second one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, somehow I shrug. There are 2 left. The plasma, however, both hit.
Only one.
Only one wound. Do I invulnerable save it? On a 3, I do not. The warp surge is
Don't
failed.
shrug it.
I do shrug. No, I don't. It's not on a 5.
6s.
But 1 is left alive. Will it be enough? The Dominus now. The Macro Stubber. Can we get lucky and get rid of one of these Fiends? That would be pretty nice for Stig.
It's pistol 5, hitting on 2s, with 2 extra hits
7
because of
hits.
himself. 4s now.
Yes, it is strength 4.
Okay, that's not gone so well. So 3 saves,
All right,
please,
well,
sir.
3 5-ups. 1 is on 1 wound, remember? 1 has been slain, and 1 goes down to 3 wounds remaining. Very nice. Ah, the Ballisterus. So we have 10 Lurth cannons here, going into Milady here. We've done Protector Imperatives, so +1 to hit, which becomes a +2 because of their broad spectrum data tether and all that sort of stuff, which negates the dense cover. We've also done the Triangulation Weakness Pinpoint Shot, which sounds like an Ad Mech stratagem, and it's the one that he did earlier, so +1 to wound. So it's basically 2s rerolling 1s, exploding 6s, and 2s to wound.
Yeah.
4 up in Bun, don't fail me now.
Yeah, basically. So let's see what happens here. 2 off the board, so that's a good start.
That's a good start, and 2 1s to reroll as well. Okay. The 1s to reroll. Okay. They all hit, and 1 6. So we have 11 hits out of 10 shots.
Good. We
Very
like
nice.
this.
That's very nice indeed. It is now 2s to wound because of the +1. Okay.
Okay, so I have dropped 3 remarkably.
Right, but that is still 8.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 up invulnerable saves.
Okay.
Come on, milady.
Mathematics, help me.
Oh no! It's bang on the average. I needed a bit better than that, so I'm going to use a CP reroll on one of them. It doesn't pay off. It's 4d6 damage. She has 15 wounds remaining.
Okay, I'm going to roll over here. I need this.
Okay. It is 16 wounds. I now have my Aegis shield. That is 16 6-up shrugs. If I pass 2 of these, Stig, you're gonna be in a world of trouble.
Yeah,
now,
maybe.
Stig can't use any rerolls there because he has no CP remaining. That combo that he did was the 2 CP that he had. Okay, I'm gathering my dice.
How many 6s is Chef going to roll?
The dice have been gathered. 16 6-up shrugs. The shining Aegis. Will it be blaring with light today? She lives with a single wound, Stig! She lives with a single wound! Okay then, it's Dakabot time. Will they be heroes? Let's find out. So this one at the end here is going to fire into my Greater Demon because he has clear line of sight. And the other 2, because they have clear line of sight to my Contorted Epitome, are going to fire into her. Because if we can get both, that is a whopping 17 points.
It's kind of a big deal.
It would be the way that I would split the fire.
Yeah. So the one that's hitting on 4s first. So 1 bot.
Okay. So this is into my
Greater Demon.
All right.
So 4s, I actually used the right name and everything, just at the very end of the game, well, potentially the end of the game. 4s, re-rolling 1s.
Ooh, we got 3 6s in there as well.
Yeah, okay.
Only 1-1 though, was that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's still pretty good.
Yeah.
The double tap is extraordinarily powerful.
So,
yeah, it's pretty grim. Here we go. It's 5s to wound, however, because I am toughness 7, so I will be thankful for small mercies.
Okay. I've got a very cocked
That
die
is very
there.
cocked. Okay, it's 5 wounds.
Yes.
So it is 5 4-ups rather, because of her lightning fast dodge. I have no rerolls available here. I've already used my CP reroll, so 4s! Okay.
3 6-up shrugs.
Stranger things have happened, Stig. I don't want to alarm you. Oh, she's dead.
Oh, okay.
If only it was a 5-up.
Does she explode
She
or
doesn't
anything?
explode or anything. She is dead. That is a massive 9 points. Free for assassinate. 5 for Appall the Witch, and 1 for Finn the Ranks. Secondary stacking, I hate you so much. Now onto the Contorted Epitome.
Yes.
Can we get a repeat? Do you need time to gather your dice?
I need to just double check. I want to make sure I've got the right amount of dice because there's a lot. It's a small bucket.
We have done a swappy swap due to the space requirements needed for the said small bucket of dice. Here we go.
This is freeze, re-rolling, 6s exploding.
Yes.
Re-rolling 1s, I should say.
Yes.
So,
Freeze for Lusus. Perhaps I should have killed him last turn. Never mind.
Right, these 1s will roll. Okay.
Let's count it. Look at you, all proud of yourself with all 36 hits after we've done all the re-rolls and all the 6s to all that sort of stuff.
Not even sure it's pride, really. Yeah. Anyway, freeze.
Cool.
Okay.
Like, that looks like a lot from here.
It does look like quite a lot. Okay, I have failed 6, 7, 8.
Cool.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28.
28? Well, I have
28, 4 up saves, 5 up saves.
5 ups. Yeah, I don't believe. I mean, even you've got AP, so it doesn't matter. All right, I've got 10 in my hand here. She's only got 8 wounds. She is dead. No, she's got 1 wound remaining. So let's watch me get another 18 5 ups here. No, she's dead. Very good. That is a whopping 17 points. Ugh. A brutal shooting phase, and now it is time for the combat phase. So we do have some charges to declare. Where are we starting with?
We're going to start actually with the Iron Striders into the lone Daemonette because I can't risk her turning into 7 of her friends.
It is a possibility.
It would be a 1 on the morale, and that would then D6 come back, which would be a problem considering everything that's gone on. So I'm going to start with them, and then I'm going to put the Vanguard in if I can as well.
They cannot fail, but this is just for posterity and movement.
Cool.
Okay, we'll move them in. The Vanguard, we must be certain. Into the Daemonette. They are in. They only needed a 4. In they pop. Okay, so the order of operations when it comes to Slaanesh is it's a charger, then Slaanesh, then a charger, then Slaanesh, and so on and so forth ad infinitum. We're going to begin with the Ballastaros.
So they have 2 attacks each. I can get these 3 into combat, hitting on freeze.
Very nice.
Very nice.
2 to hit.
They actually are re-rolling these because the Manipulus, forgive me, with Prime Hermeticon.
Oh, yes.
And then 2s to wound. 4 wounds.
4 5-up saves are required. No, she
did her best to stay
make
alive.
a double 6 on her shrug.
Oh, yes.
That is still active.
Oh.
Good sir. No, she's dead. Doesn't matter what that one off the board was. She tried, but she failed. And thus we come to the Fiends. We're going to attack everything into your Dominus again. Let's see if we can get a little bit luckier than... Oh dear.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Only 3 hits there. It is enough, however. 4s to wound. It is not enough. It is 1 wound at -1.
So,
okay.
3 up save.
Okay, so he does take 2 damage, so he has 3 remaining. I will get him next time, Gadget. You have that unit that charged, technically, so they do get to pile and consolidate towards the nearest enemy unit if you so desire.
That would mean going back that way, which I've just chased away from, so I'm not going to put them in there.
Okay, very good. In which case, I'm going to go over to the Seekers, and we're going to have some licky death. Okay, 7 attacks from the girls astride the Seekers. We hit you 6 times. It is 5s to wound thanks to the Herald. That's 3 wounds, just straight up, -4, and 2 saves at -1. So I would like you to pass both of these so that I can lick you to death. Just because that's
2 saves at
funny.
-1 is 4s.
Oh, okay, fine. You can't auto-explode.
No.
But do you?
I don't really want to this time. No.
Very good. They did their job admirably. And so we swing back over here. We didn't bother piling into those guys because we're just going to charge them anyway. So, who are you starting with?
Well, I can't do anything with him, can I?
Oh no, that finishes at the end of the shooting phase.
Oh,
because
okay.
I did it in your shooting phase. So he still gets to attack now.
Oh, well, they've already done their attacks, so I'll go with the Dominus first.
Sure.
He has 3 attacks. He has hit once. He's hitting on freeze. He's wounding on freeze. Cool.
Okay.
1 wound, -2 damage for what
5
it's
up.
worth.
I love it.
Love it.
Daedalus.
2 attacks hitting on 4s. Great.
Very good. We have weathered that storm, I guess. That is the end of the turn. There is very little left alive. It has been an absolute slobber knocker. That was to be expected, quite frankly, guys, against the level of shooting that this army can pump out. It is quite heinous. I wasn't expecting to lose both the characters quite, I mean, I say quite as easily. It did require a bit of split fire, which is always risky. And it was, of course, the risk of having them go off in that direction. But it was needed. I still have this entire flank basically healthy, and they are now going to come around and cause some major issues. So we will be back with my turn 3. Let's see if we can keep the pressure on, or if we will just fall like flies beneath this castle.
Okay, so we have quite a lot of movement going on over here. So let's start over this side. We've got this chariot has basically used this barricade as a ramp to fly over the top, not really flying, just using it as decorative language, to get round the side there. Can still charge because it didn't need to advance. Equally, these guys did not advance. Girls did not advance because they want to be able to charge as well.
Oh, actually, let me do this semi-correctly. we're not going to do that. We're going to keep these gals here with their advance move because they were sort of here. I mean, for posterity, their advance was enough with their move because they were sort of dotted over here.
Yep.
An 8-inch move
takes them all the way
7-inch
round.
plus another 2 is enough to go round. Reason being is because 1, now we're hiding.
Which is nice.
And 2, that's engage on all fronts, otherwise I'd be giving that up.
Very good. You see, because there's no line of sight through that.
Whilst I'm still holding an
building.
objective, which if things go horribly wrong, fine.
Could be a thing. Speaking of a thing, this chariot made her way over here. This is, what's her name?
That's the Herald on Hellflayer.
Yeah, great, that. She's made her way there. If she powers up, this could be quite a turn for her. These guys, so impressed with themselves, finally getting to get through that tank, have decided to have a chew on some chicken instead.
Yep.
These Seekers have moved up because they weren't really wanting to do much with these Vanguard. They would like them to be gone. And then these Daemonettes have moved over. He can't raise the banners yet because of those Vanguard.
But I can raise it there.
But he can on that one back there. So it's going to be 2 points for engage on all fronts because you've got the 3 quarters, is that right?
Yeah, so I've got 1 quarter, 2 quarter, 3 quarter, provided that stuff survives, of course.
Yeah.
And I did get 1 banner, 2 banner, 3 banner at the beginning of this turn, plus my primary, which was 1, 2, and 3 against your 2. So I am running away with the points, but another turn like your last one, and I won't have much left, and you'll have enough time to move out and capture objectives yourself.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Now is about locking stuff down and preventing you from moving. But we'll see if it works.
We do have one little piece of admin to do on camera, which is our Canticle roll. This time it is worth me actually rolling for, because if I could get reroll 1s, that would be nice. I did think about selecting reroll 1s in the fight phase, but it's not really worth it because chances are Manipulus being here with all his rerolls is going to be doing that anyway. I'm not that bothered about these Vanguard here, but don't tell Chef that. Anyway, so let's see what we get. We get a 3, which I believe. Ooh.
We'll check it.
I think that's reroll 1s in the fight phase off the top of my head. But yeah, we'll check it and come back to you all. I was right. It is reroll 1s in the fight phase. So this Vanguard unit here are very excited about the fact that they're going to get to reroll 1s if they're still alive.
Yeah, they won't be.
Yeah, I mean, great. I mean, I suppose technically these guys get to do it as well, which would actually be quite nice.
That's
but,
true.
you know, it is what it is. We are going to move into the Psychic phase. And I believe we have a smite from this lady.
We do.
Equidistant between these 2 Vanguard units, and you're putting it on this one next to the chickens. Is that right?
Yes, that is going to be my target, and it is indeed going to happen on a 7, and it will be 3 mortal wounds.
Okay. I could have done without that. So I've chosen to remove the 3 on that side just to try and reduce some of the movement options on the charge here. Morale will absolutely be an issue at this point, but obviously that happens after the charge phase. So We'll see if this makes a difference. We're going to go over to the shooting phase, and we're going to this chariot here, I believe.
Yes, we're going to whippy whip into your Electro Priests.
That's not very nice.
It is 2 whips. It is 2 hits. And it is 2 wounds.
Oh, lovely.
No minus, but I know you've got an invuln,
5
and
up
it is 1
invuln.
damage.
Loves it.
Okay, very good. The Hellflayer is going to do whippy whips into these Vanguard here. It is 3 whippy whips. It is, that is a Herald, so she's BS2, I believe. I'm just going to double check that. Bear with me, everyone.
We're doing it live.
No, she's BS2, very good.
Good.
It is Strength 4. It is 2 wounds, no minus.
No minus, so 4s, 1 dice.
Cool. One is whipped to pieces. And now it's the charge phase. You can't Overwatch, so I'm not fussed about that.
Yeah.
So we'll go for the Seekers. They are within 6 inches of the Herald, and they did advance. They sort of went round into your chickens. I mean,
yes.
it's cocked, but
It's
there we
still
go.
yes.
And
they
8.
are in.
Let me just move them yonder. Okay. And now we're going to do these
Seekers?
ones, because if she charges first, they won't be able to charge, which would be bad for me.
Bad.
Charging into those Vanguard.
Very much so.
Yes.
Going around the other side by any chance?
Oh, yes. So we're going to go rock to here, to here. So it's just to get a little bit of extra movement whilst also still having that objective should I kill them, which we'll see. Into both the chickens and the Vanguard. Yes.
Yes.
It's enough. So she doesn't do any impact hits or anything like that.
However,
this chariot does. Now, this is where it gets kind of... It's a very tough decision, guys. However, in the interest of it just being really cool, I'm going to charge her into the priests because she does mortal wounds on 5s for every model that's within an inch. So, yeah, we're going to do that.
we're going to do that. And we very much are with that charge.
So yeah, we're going to get a lot of impact hits there. We're going to get all bar 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mortal wounds on 5s, basically.
Don't like that. Let's try not to get too many of those.
3 mortal wounds,
3
very
mortal
respectable
wounds.
indeed.
Okay, I can ignore those on 5s and 6s. Oh, I'm quite proud of the way I manoeuvred my hands to get some dice there.
That's good, you're learning.
Yeah, well, we'll see what the comment
It's hard
section
work,
says.
isn't it?
Oh, great.
Oh, very nice.
So
Mown
that
down.
is 3 mortal wounds, killing 3 of my Electro Priests. So 2 little pieces. So 1, we've just double checked, and despite being the wording, the name of the rule being the same, this chariot does it on 6s. So we checked the footage, and it did mean that we put 1 priest back.
Yeah.
I have heroically intervened with the Manipulus. I kind of ummed and ahed about it, but as much as anything, what I wanted to do, and I've moved into base to base to stop the chariot being able to tap the destroyers, which was my play.
Is the correct move.
Well, hopefully, anyway. So yeah, we'll see what happens, see what survives over there. So.
Yes.
Where are we starting, sir?
Right, well, you can't interrupt, so let's start with these Seekers here, and we're going to work our way along, everyone.
Oh,
it's gonna
lovely.
Be nice and pleasant. Yeah, I'm still just a bit weirded out that the Scything Impact rule, which is identically named in the 2 different data sheets, do 2 different things. And then I remembered it's demons. There is no logic here. They are made of pure chaos.
Exactly. It makes perfect sense when you say it like that. It's chaos.
So, here we go. Freeze to hit. Very nice. They are freeze to wound because they are within range of a Herald.
They're only toughness 3, so is it still 3s or is it 2s?
Strength 4.
Oh.
Yeah. So that is 5 saves at
I wasn't
-1.
sure if it went to 2s.
No.
Right.
I wish they were strength 6. That would be
5s. 4 are dead,
4
which
are
is the amount that are left in the unit. They're
Very
gone.
nice.
Now onto these Seekers, onto the chickens.
7 stabs and 6 licks. The stabs. Cool. The licks. Sorry, the stabs even. So that is 2 wounds, 1 at -4. Also, forgive me everyone, Aura of Acquiescence is going off over there, so those priests are only having 1 attack each, because I don't need that in my life right now.
I mean, that's quite mean, isn't it?
Forgot to mention it, but that's my intent.
So 1 6-up bionic save,
Yep.
and then 1 which is AP
1.
AP 1. Okay, so 1 at 5-up. Loving
Okay.
it. And 1 at 6-up.
Okay.
No.
1 damage. And now the licky licks. We hit you 5 times. 5's to wound. We lick you twice. No AP here.
So 4s.
Oh, no
Loving
licky.
life. Loving life.
Right.
My chicken's enjoying that.
We will then go over to the Herald on the Hellflayer.
Easy for you to say.
So there is 5. So this is we get real cray here, everyone. So we have 5 attacks with her ravaging claws, and everything is going to go into the
Vanguard.
The
Yes,
Vanguard.
of course.
obviously not the Vanguard. The
Everything's
chickens.
into the Vanguard. We all heard it,
Right. Fortunately, I am weapon skill 2,
which is nice
which is good.
for you.
So it is. What's their toughness?
6.
So 5's to wound. You are cocked. Okay, no wounds from the ravaging claws. That's
Okay.
a problem. Now the bladed axle. It is 4 attacks.
Okay.
These are strength 9.
Okay, freeze.
So they do all hit.
Yeah, sorry.
They do all wound. It's -1, but they are 2 damage a pop.
Okay, now doesn't actually matter at this point, so I'll roll them all at the same time. -1, which means 5s.
Cool.
So 3 go through, so it kills 1
Yep.
and puts 1 down to 4 wounds. Okay, we do need to see if that chicken explodes. So on a 6, it would do a single mortal wound everywhere, basically, but it doesn't.
Okay. And then the tongues from the striders, it's all onto the same unit anyway. They do all hit. 5's to wound, 1 licky lick, no AP.
So 4s now. Makes it.
Okay, you have done that very well. And then we will do my consolidation because we're not in base to base and we're going to go like that. But we're also going to avoid going into combat with them because I don't want you to do... Actually, we're not going to do that. We're going to do that because then they're going to be the closest to everything and we're already in combat with the Vanguard anyway. So yeah, we're just going to stay like that. That seems fine.
You're done now?
I think so, yes. Okay,
I'm not sure what's happened, but we'll come back.
I don't know either.
We'll figure it
So
out at some
now
point.
We have the Exalted Seeker Chariot. She has 16 attacks.
Sorry, how many?
16 attacks.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So
That's a lot. Wow.
So because she's got 8 attacks with her claws, and then she's got 8 attacks with her steeds. Basically, they're all strength 4. The claws are AP 1, but you don't have an armor save that's better than your invuln.
Yeah,
So I'm just going to do them all together for ease.
makes sense to me.
So it's 2s and 3s because it's strength 4. Okay, you're cocked there.
Yep.
Okay, very good. So, 3s to wound. This is all on the priests, by the way. Okay, not bad at all.
What is the strength of the attack?
Strength 4.
Okay, yes, cool. Again, forgive me, I'm just trying to make sure that we're not, should be wounding better. 'Cause they are
9
only tough
saves.
units. I have 6 here, which is 1 for every model I have there. No, not quite, I've got 7 there.
yeah,
But
you've got
anyway,
7.
I've got these. So they...
That one's cocked.
That one's cocked, is it?
Yeah, easy.
Okay. Right, so...
You passed.
and I've got to do... I've only passed 1 so far, and 3 more. I've passed 2 of those. Okay,
Right.
so 6 have gone through.
Right.
So 6, 5s, and 6s. Okay,
Okay.
4 are dead.
4 have been slain.
That's-
That's good for me.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I'm okay with that. That's all that's left over there now. Yes. Okay, we're coming over to these Fiends now. Chef is not very happy that this Dominus has been able to survive this long. I'd like him to survive 1 more round so I get to repair him.
No. Now we're cooking.
Okay.
That's better. That's making up for last time lapse.
No.
4s.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay.
That's fine. I'm going to leave it. They're all at -1. I've not gotten a single 6 against this guy.
So they're -1.
Only -1.
So it does mean 3s I needed.
Oh, there's 1 remaining. Damn it. Damn it.
So he's getting fully repaired next
No,
turn.
he's not getting fully repaired.
Oh, yes, he is.
How is he getting fully repaired?
Because he'll do D3 back on himself, and if I choose to, I've got a couple of different options to be able to get us another CP, so I can do it again.
Can you repair the same model twice?
You can, because that's the stratagem. It allows you to be able to do it.
Ad Mech is such a weird book, man. They really are.
But we'll see. He's definitely getting some wounds back because he's down to 1 at the moment.
That is all of my combat.
Idiot.
Look, I know that I like to go off on one, but there's no need to cut it off. It's very rude.
Apologies, guys. I cut Chef off.
Yeah, that's that done. That's my combat done. So you do have some attacks back now.
Yeah. It kind of doesn't matter where we start, to be honest.
Not really.
So let's start over with... I will actually do Daedalus because I feel like his claw is D3. I can't quite remember, but we'll find out if he does anything. First of all, he has 2 attacks with his claw. He hits on 4s. That is very cocked. So it doesn't matter because he missed both times.
Yay!
Yay! We'll just work this way now. So the Dominus hitting on 3s. He does hit all the times this time. He would have been rerolling 1s because of that canticle, but hey, now it didn't matter. He will be wounding on 3s again. He does wound 3 times. They are 2 damage for what it's worth.
Okay. He does kill 1.
Kills 1.
That's frustrating.
Which is nice.
That's very frustrating.
I
can't believe I've yet to kill him. That's...
And he's technically out of combat now, I think, as well.
Technically.
Yeah. It's interesting. Okay, so the priests still only get 1 attack. Is that correct?
They will get a single attack because they were within 3 inches of me and I did Aura of Acquiescence.
So we may as well do that now. So hitting on 3s, re-rolling because of the Manipulus. So they all hit. They are strength 5 at the moment, so wounding on 4s. They all wound minus, I'm going to say -2. I'll double check in a second. But
it'll be my 5-up in bun.
Anyway, it's definitely onto your in bun.
Go straight through.
So, did you roll 3 times there?
Did you wound 3 times?
No, I only wounded twice. Yeah. Sorry, yes. 2d3 damage. It is, okay, 4 damage. Yeah, not too bad. The Manipulus next, so his Omnis...
he also has -1 attack.
Okay, so he only gets 2 with the staff, which he hits once. He will re-roll because of himself. He only hits once. He will also wound on 4s. He does not wound. We'll go on to his... well, actually, this time it doesn't matter because of the fact that he's not infantry. So 2d6, but -2.
No, because these are additional attacks. I take it away from your attacks characteristic.
Okay, great. So 10 attacks he's going to get. I'm going to come back to you with some dice. Ad Mech players have already corrected me because, of course, the pseudo-generator has AP1 and the Mechadendrites are AP0. So on a 1, 2, 3, or 4, the 4 wounds, the 4 attacks, I'll put my teeth in and get there in a second. The 4 attacks are the Mechadendrites, okay? So the AP0 one. Okay, so that's going. So it means that these 4 attacks are AP0 strength 4. But we are hitting on 3s first of all. So we have hit all of the times.
Okay.
And now we are going to wound on 5s and 6s. I didn't even pick up that dice, so that's good. We have got 2 wounds.
So these are on AP0.
AP0.
Okay, so I do save 1, but 1 goes through. I'm down to 7.
Okay.
So I will live. Just. And
but,
now the AP1. So this will just go through to my in-bun. That's why it's kind of important.
So first of all, hitting on 3s. Re-rolling that 1. Oh, that was just determined to be a 1.
It was meant to be.
And now again, 5s and 6s. If I can pick up, we're looking at that crater because I was very excited about that crater apparently. So that is only 2 wounds.
Yes,
AP1.
Can't re-roll those. But I do save 1, so I'm down to 6 wounds remaining.
That could make a difference.
I don't believe I'm degraded yet. I degrade... No, I am on my bottom profile.
Okay.
I am indeed degraded to my mid-profile. Well, my mid-profile, not my bottom profile. Cool. So then you've got some Vanguard and some Ballastaris.
Yes. The Vanguard are nice and easy because they just have 2 attacks because the Alpha is dead over there. So hitting on 4s. 1 hits.
Reroll that one.
Reroll the 1 because of the Canticle. It's still a 1, of course.
It was meant to be.
He will be. I'm guessing it's toughness 5
toughness
still.
5, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So 5s and 6s. No.
Okay.
Good.
Now the Ballastari.
Yeah,
chickens.
I'm going to have to check what I can get in combat and what I want to get in combat. Probably more to the point. Chickens versus Chaosy chickens. So we have 3 that are in range to be able to attack. So we have 6 attacks hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s because of the Canticle. We have hit all but 1, which we will re-roll. And still misses, good. Now we're wounding on 2s.
Strength 6?
We are strength 6. Toughness 6, strength 6.
Wow, that's weird, but
Yeah,
fine.
I know, it's a weird thing with the chickens, both Ballastari and the Dragoons. They are strength 6 base, toughness 6 base. 3s and 3s on weapon skill and ballistic skill, which is,
bizarre.
I mean, odd. I mean, you can with Dragoons, I'm going off a random one now, but you can use, there is a sniper weapon that no one ever uses, but yeah, so I guess that's why. But anyway, winning on 2s. Those are 2 very cocked dice, so at least, well, that one definitely is.
Sure.
Yeah. Still wounded.
Okay.
Can that one be balanced? No. Okay, cool. So everything wounded, 5 wounded.
5 wounds, all right, so 5 ups. 3 go through, so 1 goes down to 1 wound and 1 is slain. That's fine.
Guess what it is?
Lol.
It's been a long time since I've played Ad Mech, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean...
Played in general, they are actually strength 5. So, you know, that little rant I went on, ignore me. I'm an idiot.
I mean, it doesn't matter. So one of the 2s was cocked and you re-rolled it to a 5 anyway. There was a 2 that was flat. I still saved some, so it doesn't really matter.
Chef is a gentleman and has decided to keep it how it is.
Doesn't really matter at this stage. Whether that 2... Well, I'll tell you what. Like on a...
Do you want to roll a die on it?
On a 1, 2, 3, it was one of the ones that was that wasn't saved.
Makes sense.
It was saved, so it's fine. So it's meaningless, basically, guys. I'm not worried about it. That then?
That is it. That's the end of your turn.
Yes.
Despite the fact that, again, I managed to kill things in your turn.
I mean,
this is weird.
That's just how combat goes. Now, you do have a morale check to do for those priests.
Yes.
And it is quite an important one.
It is. Now, they are leadership 8. Do I get a minus for anything over there?
No, you do not.
So, leadership 8, and they have lost 6, which is...
1 or a 2?
Is a lot. So, we need a 1 or a 2. That's 4. So, 2 of them are gone.
1 runs away.
Oh, yes,
We're
of
in
course.
9th edition now, boy.
Oh, gosh.
So
right.
1 runs. Now you've got to roll 2d6 and 1s and 2s. They run. Okay, so only 1 runs away. So it's actually better than it would have been in 8th.
Yay!
Happy days!
Also got that Vanguard unit there to roll for. They have lost 3 this turn. They are leadership 6. Oh, good.
So 1 runs.
And then 1 or 2 on the other one. No, he's fine. Bravely standing still.
Turn 3 for the Ad Mech, a summary. We remained in combat with the Ballastari. We are hoping to use Big Guns Never Tire to deal with my Seekers and then on to my Hellflayer. We have fallen back out of combat with the Exalted Chariot. Just enough movement to go around the barricade and steal this objective. My banner has been torn down. How dare you? How dare you? We've remained up here, a commanding position with these Vanguard. We have remained locked in combat here because they must. They don't have a choice. Obviously, we've held firm with the robots because they must. They don't have a choice. We've moved over here with the destroyers, just skirting around the edge of those horrible blades, which I imagine are covered in bits of electro priests. And they're probably thinking, "Oh, I'm glad we don't get mutilated like that. That'd be really unfortunate." Yeah. The Manipulus has moved over here. He's fallen back out of combat just skirting over there, and we've fallen back out of combat with the Hellflayer. No way for me to stop any of that, alas. It is what it is. So we do have some shooting to do. Mr. Stig, do you know what you're starting with?
We're going to start off with the Grav Destroyers into this chariot. Okay. So they are 4s, re-rolling 1s.
Do we want to do Daemonettes
first? Sorry, of course we do.
That's my bad.
Start of the shooting phase. He's actually, despite the fact that this horrible thing is attacking him, he's turning his back and looking over here.
Yeah, can still do that.
Because that's the thing, right?
That's the thing that happens.
So yes, he's looking over there. Okay. Actually, also at the start of the shooting phase, the other thing that he gets to do is he gets to do D3 mortal wounds on that fiend.
Okay.
So D3 mortal wounds.
A single mortal wound.
It's better than nothing.
He gets to be fixed for D3.
Yes, he does indeed.
To infuriate me further.
He gets 3 back.
Fine.
Back to 4.
Very
back
well.
To 4. That was the end of the movement phase. Obviously, slightly out of sequence, but we obviously had spoken of it. Right.
So now we'll do the Grav Destroyers. They did not fall back out of combat because they weren't in combat. Into the chariot. Shooting phase, warp surge. I am not going to bother doing anything at this stage.
Okay. 4s, rerolling 1s, 6s exploding. Okay, that's nice so far. Oh my, wow. Yeah.
I hate that Magus. He's not died and he has been such a redonkulous force multiplier. Ugh, okay, so how many hits was that out of 10 shots?
Out of 10 shots, I got 8, 10, 14, 15.
Maybe I should have done the warp surge. Okay, it is forced to wound, however.
Yeah.
Okay, the luck has balanced
like it's
out.
Come out in the wash. Very much in the wash. Okay, so 5 at -3, so onto your invuln.
So 5, you say. So 5 ups. I do take 4 wounds. I'm down to 2 remaining, and now the Cognis Flamer.
Yes. 2d6 for
so
one
fortunately, because
each.
these don't roll to hit, they can't get extra hits with flame weapons.
Yeah.
It's very much like how you get daka with frag grenades, and you just kind of go, how did you throw more grenades? I mean, it's an orc, actually.
More. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, no, that makes perfect sense. The orc believed he'd thrown more, so he had.
Good point.
That's how that works.
So you've got 7 hits here. Strength is?
Strength 4.
So 5's to wound.
Or is it 5? Let me double check. 4s?
Must be 4s.
I'm going to roll it anyway. Yes, because it didn't get the upgrade because of course Cognis.
Yeah, he didn't get the 12-inch range. That was it.
Okay. 3 at -1.
-1 flamers.
I'm going to look.
Let's check that because that is important. Because that will give me a 4-up save if they're not a minus. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to roll it.
Destroys Cognis Flamers no.
It doesn't matter. I rolled a 1, a 3, and a 3. So even with a reroll, she's dead. But she did quite well. She caused a lot of havoc and killed a bunch of priests. So well done, lady. The Vanguard up here. Now that the chariot is dealt with, turn their gaze to these seekers here. So we have all of the radium and the plasma is overcharging. I've been informed.
Yes, it is. Of course, it is.
Okay. Very good.
I mean, actually, it's because the fact that they're two wounds. So
yeah, that makes sense.
I wouldn't actually like. It doesn't really make a difference from the wound factor, but the amount of wounds it does.
Yes.
So 3s now on the radiums.
Okay, not bad.
Now these they are toughness 3. Is that right?
They are toughness 3.
So 4s, but 6s are 2 damage.
Okay.
Okay, so 3 saves, 1 of which is 2 damage.
Right, so I'm going to do the 2 damage first.
That's funny that.
Because one's on 1 wound. Loves it. And now the 1 damage ones. Okay, well I'm glad I did it that way round. So 1 has been slain and 1 goes over to 1 there.
Which is now going to make my overcharge completely irrelevant.
Yes!
Unless he dies. Well, let's see.
Well, he doesn't die. He hits twice, actually.
And 2s.
Cool. Very nice. No, 2 have been slain. Ouch.
Nice.
We will start over here in this combat with pistols at noon and dawn, high noon, all that sort of jazz. Daedalus' eradication pistol.
Yeah, because he's within 6, it's a single pistol shot hitting on a 3. It does hit. Would have been nice to have got a 6 for an extra one. It is strength 6. So it is a wound at AP 3 for what it's worth. D3 damage, which is why this one's gone first.
No, it goes through. D3 damage.
Ooh.
Gets him because remember he did take a mortal wound. I've just not marked him up. The Fiends are no more. Well, I mean they tried, but now that the Dominus has been freed up, the little thing, he is going to fire at my Hellflayer Herald. So we are at -1 for the dense cover, but +1 because of Daedalus.
D3 shots. Free, very nice. Hitting on 2s because of that ignoring the -1. Oh, would have been nice for some 6s though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you didn't.
Strength 6,
Yep.
so minus...
Freeze?
Yeah, freeze, sorry. All go through at -2.
Okay, doesn't matter. Damages.
Just 1 on this because they're in long range.
So 5 up in buns. Cool, 3 damage. She has 5 remaining. The Dacabots eye up the Hellflayer. She has 5 wounds remaining. They can't draw a clear line of sight completely to every part of her model, so there will be a -1, but obviously Daedalus and all of the buffs that they have. It's 4s, rerolling 1s, looking for all the 6s. Stig has already dropped a dice on the floor, so we need 1 to reroll here. He's dropped 2 on the floor, so there's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 6s.
That one's somehow magically cocked. So...
Okay.
Sure.
And you've rerolled the 2 that fell off?
Yes, I've rerolled the 2 that fell off.
Okay.
I will do the 1s quickly. There's another one there. And of course that's another 6.
Cool, so we'll be back once we've tallied up the actual amount of shots. Stig has done it again. 53 hits out of 54 shots. And that's hitting on 4s.
Can you imagine with Cool? I mean, yeah. Because of course, if you were actually playing this like as a Tactica or as a competitive, of course this would be Mars.
Yep.
And you'd have Call as well as someone with the Mayo. So you'd just be re-rolling 1s and 2s and 3s.
Yeah, because he's re-roll hits.
Hits. He's always been re-roll
He's always
hits.
been hits. And then you'd be getting 6s to
explode.
wound his mortal wounds as well.
Yes, because you do Wrath of Mars.
Yeah,
it's just disgusting.
It's one of those, we were just saying off camera, it's one of those things where you just almost want to go, okay, Divinations of the Magos and the other ones are really cool because they give you loads of options and they're really nice, but why would you do anything other than 6s explode?
Yeah.
Like, we were saying, it'd be like, okay, here's a Tau army. Here's you get 2 new Warlord traits, one of which is reroll advance and charge rolls, and one of which is +1 to hit with shooting weapons in a 6-inch aura. I wonder which one your shooting army's going to pick. Sure, you could
Combat Tau!
Surely you could pick the combat ones if you were going for combat Ad Mech, which, you know, has its place. But
and there's some nice ones. And you know, I was saying off camera, like, I think I might bring a silly list next time with some different things. So you can see, because there are some really nice ones.
Yeah.
I feel quite conscious of the fact that you've seen this 2 games in a row now. But
I mean,
yeah.
the thing is, it's very good to see the potency of it.
Yeah, and this is only 3. You remember, you can use a unit of 6. The unit of 5 is where, like, honestly, I would
is
sit.
the sweet spot.
Yeah, because they are vehicles, they bring it down really easily.
Yeah.
So you don't want Blast to have any more options to have a go at them. So yeah, but there we go.
Look, the combo's very good, and Stig, I mean, to be fair, we've both been rolling very, very above average for the most part in this game.
Yeah,
so,
quite silly.
It's swings and roundabouts.
Yes, now this is, he's toughness 5.
He's toughness 5.
So,
Freeze to win.
freeze.
Very good. We'll count it all up, and we'll be right back. And thus, as we speak about averages balancing out, Stig's now gone below average.
28.
From 53 hits, he's only gotten 28 wounds. However, I've only got 5 wounds remaining. So, you know, it's kind of...
Probably a bit moot, but...
I have 10 in my hand here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's dead. Very good. Big chickens never tire. 6 of the last cannon shots into the Seekers that are in combat, and then 4 into this one here holding the objective. Correct?
Only 2 into the one holding the objective.
Sorry, yes,
because
that's what,
you
6
killed
and 4.
one.
So it'll be 6 and 1 then, because there's 4 in that unit.
So 3.
Yep.
So 6.
Yep.
2.
And 2.
Yes.
So I mean, I'm thinking of models and shots at the same time. My brain is frazzled, guys.
Yeah, it's been quite a long day already. He is. They are in range with the Magos. So again, let's see what 6s we get. It is going to be 4s re-rolling 1s with the 1s going into the Seekers.
Indeed.
Oh,
Good.
Okay.
Good. That's 9 hits. Yeah. Cool. 2s to wound. Right.
8.
Very good. 8, you say. 8, oh, 8. Cool, doesn't matter what the damage roll is, they are slain. So now the 2 las cannons into this lady here. Good.
Of course.
Good.
Of course, that's how that works.
Yep. Okay.
2 wounds.
5 ups. Ooh, okay. I actually have the CP to re-roll this.
It's worth it.
And I'm going to.
Yeah.
It does not pay off, damn it.
I do have 1 CP.
You do.
But I don't.
You don't need to use it. All of the Seekers are slain.
Okay, there really is not a lot left on the board.
Yep.
So, this is obviously a summary again. This Daemonette unit have come out to play. They are wanting to take out these 2 priests to stop me getting that objective on the primary. That could be a big problem for me. This unit, basically, if we say that I'm getting out of dodge, because if we come over here and look where the if it wants to move up, there we go, we can see that the Dacobots cannot see them at all. So, excuse me, my ability to remove that unit and get my spin the ranks points, but also just stopping them being able to get more primary is gone, basically.
Well, I've maxed the primary this turn.
Yes, sorry, you did say that.
Because you were holding 2.
Yes.
But I was just within range with this one and this one, as well as these ladies back here. So I was holding 3. So I was holding more, which does mean that I've now gotten 15 points again. So I have maxed out my primary. So now, if I go there, I'm denying Finn the ranks as much as possible. I'm going here in order to, in theory, if I kill them, I deny Stig 5 points, and that is game. If for some reason this doesn't happen and they die, because obviously these guys. Now you could argue that I could just not charge, but where's the fun in that, right?
Yeah, and they're demons. They would charge.
Of course they would.
The strange mortals.
Of course they would. So essentially, if they don't kill them, then Stig will actually be holding more. If he kills the Daemonettes in return, which will sort of keep him in the game. However, if I have an average turn, that's not going to be the case. So we're going to go straight into the charge phase. Basically, we're going to charge the Electro
that's
Priests.
what's happening.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm going 13 inches with my musician.
Yeah.
So round
anywhere
we go.
You like.
Pretty much.
And then, of course, it's again restricting my movement, assuming that those guys are dead.
Now, obviously, I do need to make sure I'm maintaining coherency, so I can't do a super duper string along. So that is sufficient there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 17 attacks thanks to the... the champion whose name eludes me.
The stuff and the things.
Here we go. 3 attacks. Right.
Okay, that's quite a lot.
We have basically said no to averages today, the pair of us.
Yep. It's not a thing anymore.
It is force to wound. Okay. Okay. It is only 6. Now, Stig, if you pass all of these, they are only 1 damage.
They are only
if you
1
pass
damage.
all of these and then strike me back with all of your hatred, this could actually be quite hilarious.
It would be absolutely amazing. But I do need 5s followed by 5s.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So this could not be going the way that we want it.
No.
So... No.
Okay, so the unit is now wiped.
Very, very, very wiped.
So that essentially means that next turn, Stig is going to score 5 points on his primary. He's going to kill them with the Dacobots. That's
Or
a given.
anything I fancy, really.
Yep. Now, what you could do is you could move your laser chickens around here.
Yep.
To shoot at them, and you've got your Vanguard here.
Which will go around the other side.
Could begin moving the...
Grav destroyers.
Yep, the destroyers around to start getting line of sight. They can't actually get line of sight to these girls because of their movement in the barricades.
Chef worked it out that it would take till turn 4. That's why he positioned exactly where he did.
Yes. So then that's your turn 4. You do some shooting. I've got enough CP to do Warp Surge on them for this turn and my next turn, just to maximise survivability. I don't need to worry about capturing banner objectives. I've got a banner here, a banner here, a banner here, so that's going to be worth another 3 points at the beginning of my next turn and 3 points at the end of the game for when that's done. So really, like, absolute best case scenario would be your 9 shots plus your plasma is 11, and your 8 las cannons. Now, obviously, you would advance your Dominus up to ensure that you've got your rerolls and whatnot. But again, I can just literally stick a single gal there to prevent you from getting the objective in your last turn. I don't believe it's possible for you to catch up, but we can play it out because, yeah, I mean, with the way that you've been
mathematics has not worked so far.
And the way that you've been rolling 6s, I mean, quite frankly, I could lose like 20 of them, which would make a big difference.
Yeah. Well, let's find out. We'll quickly play out turn 4 and see where we land.
Turn 4, Hail Mary phase for the Ad Mech. So we've moved up here with the chickens. We are now within 3 inches of this objective. We also have line of sight clearly from all 4 because the line is this, guys. So they all have line of sight to those Daemonettes. It may be overkill, but, you know, needs must. Jump down here with the Rangers, Vanguard, in order to do the same. We did advance with the Destroyers. Important here because their Cognus Flamers are still assault weapons, which is nice. But also they're now within 3 inches of that objective, so they've sort of scooted round. Now, obviously, they've not stolen it yet, but they will once they've flamed these ladies to a crisp. We got a massive advance with Dominus 6, enabling him to keep up with those chickens. So looking for all of the 6s in the world on the exploding hits.
I'd like 8 6s.
I mean, with the way that you've been rolling, it's probably going to happen. We've held this objective with the characters here. Daedalus is within 6 inches of the robots. He has declared these girls as the target because he doesn't really have anyone else. And the transonic cannon from the Manipulus is in range as well. So all things going well, we'll kill these girls holding this objective and we'll take a good pound of demonic flesh from these ladies. Now I have, of course, Warp Surge because I've got the CP to do so, and that's what I'm going to do. Mr. Stig, where are we going to start?
We'll start off with the Cognus Flamers. I should say that they advanced D3, so they literally got a 1, which was exactly what they needed to get.
Do you want to start with the Transonic in case you overkill a bunch and I kill these ones and then he can't shoot?
I think it's pretty much the same, but we'll do that anyway. Sure. He gets one shot. Okay. You sure? It was
no, it's definitely got. But there was no way that you were putting a dice on that and it was staying there.
Fair enough. Transonic is strength 4, so freeze.
Okay.
I need to just double check whether it's, excuse me, whether...
2 have been slain?
Yeah, I have a feeling that it might re-roll wounds.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because of it being...
Weird.
Yeah, basically.
Ad Mech weirdness.
Ad Mech weirdness. Forgive me, folks, while I look it up. And... no, it is AP1, 2 damage.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's still pretty tasty.
It's fine. So we now have the 2 Cognus Flamers from the Destroyers.
And Cognus only does something for Overwatch, doesn't it?
Yeah, Overwatch you get to roll 2d6.
But you don't get to normally?
No. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Ad Mech book, right?
Yeah.
It is strength 4, so freeze again. That one's definitely cocked and is playing the same logic as before. So yeah, cool.
So 5. There are 6 left. There are 2 left.
Okay. Radium Carbine here.
Oh, okay. The Lone Vanguard. Is he going to be a hero?
He is re-rolling that one because of the...
and
he actually gets a 6.
Oh, what was your Canticle this turn? I don't think we rolled for it.
No, we did roll for it. Because we're still in the same battle round.
No, it's battle round 4 now.
Oh, gosh. Did we not do that one?
Roll for it quickly.
Cool. That was reroll morale, failed morale.
Okay, fine.
So anyway, he got the extra 1, which is what I've put that in, and the 1. Cool.
Okay. Still 3 hits though.
Yeah.
Remember, there's only 2 left there, guys.
4s. Okay.
Okay.
They're both 2 damage. Not the max any different.
Double 5 and 6 to keep them alive. Oh yes. So basically, this one lass is here, just being really annoying and denying you the objective. For now. I mean. Will she survive 72 Dakabots? Do you just want to do like 1 rather than gathering all of the dice?
Yeah,
or are you just going to be an orc player and go, no, I want to roll all
my
dice?
No, I really don't want to roll all those dice because it's just too much. If I roll, I'm going to roll a single I'm not even doing the double shots.
Oh,
okay?
wow. That's confidence.
No, it's just more the fact that I just don't want to pick up that many dice.
I understand.
So I am still exploding hits because they are a unit.
Yep.
Okay.
So you hit on freeze because of Delosus.
Yeah. So
2s. I mean,
what it is,
yeah, this is it's almost a given here, guys. But you know, it is a dice game. Stranger things have happened. What's that?
you
5?
need 6.
I've got 5 in my hand. She's dead.
Good.
Very good. And that was just enough to pip you up to the next level of Fin the Ranks. Interestingly, I have exactly 150 points worth of Fin the Ranks in this army, but it is all held here now. Here we go, the Vanguard into the Daemonettes. We did say about Warp Surge, so here we go. We're not overcharging the plasma, there is no need. Okay, not bad.
These are radiums, obviously.
Of course.
4s now.
Okay.
So 3.
Only 3.
Yeah.
Okay. We do lose 2, so 2 have been slain. I mean, removing them from here isn't going to really make a difference, guys, but that's where I will go.
And the plasma.
Not overcharging, obviously. There is no need.
That was cocked. That's still cocked. Sorry,
Come on,
guys.
Matt.
There we go.
2s.
2s.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Doesn't melt one. The las cannons now. We have 8 of them, which will translate to 16 hits, is what we're hoping.
That's what we're hoping. And then you're going to fail morale. Okay.
Oh, no.
So we're re-rolling all of these. That one misses.
Oh, it's not worked.
I mean, that's very cocked,
Yeah.
but even so. Yeah. That's, yeah.
That has, I mean, that did make up for the previous turn, but it is not the turn that you needed it to happen.
4 wounds at -3, 4 invulnerables, which you'll probably make because that's how that works now. Oh, no.
I do make all but 1, so 1 has been slain.
Good.
So I do only lose 3. However, this is where new 9th edition morale can get real weird. I'm only leadership 7, you see.
Oh, okay.
So on a 5 or a 6, I fail morale, and then I got to do attrition checks, because that is your shooting, isn't it?
Yeah. So.
All right, here we
Yeah.
go.
I can't
It's a
see.
6, Stig. It's a 6. So one of them runs away,
Okay.
and now we need to gather 26 dice for morale.
Oh, wow.
So combat attrition time.
No,
Here
it's
it
only
is, everyone.
ones because they're well above half.
Oh yes, I'm fully aware of how
No,
many
it's just-
there are. But this is where new
I'm
morale.
checking my knowledge of the game, folks. Just.
Yeah. So this is where new morale is a little bit awkward, but oh well.
Don't do a bid.
Okay, we've only lost 1 so far. This was the first batch of 13.
And they're fine.
Another 1, 2, 3, and 1 that fell off the board. Okay, so we did lose 4 additional ones. Not quite enough to get another point for Fin the Ranks, but them's the breaks. Right, guys, in the turn 5, we've done the maths. I know some of you don't like that, but you know, it's almost nonsensical continuing to play, because here's how it would go down. I'd move my remaining 22 ladies over here. I've now automatically denied this, and I'm going to charge, because why would I not at this stage? Because if I can get another 1 down, that's another 2 points for bring it down. So I've got another 3 points for my banners, because I've got this banner here, that banner there, and this banner here. So that puts me on 74 points minimum. Let's say I did kill this one here. That's 76, and then I'm going to get points for my banners at the end of the game. Now what Stig can do, because I'm going to deny that, so there's nothing he can do about that, but that would leave me on 1 victory point. I'd be on 1 site there, and he'd be on 2. So he'd still get hold 1, hold 2, hold more, which is nice, right? So that'll put him on 66 points. Okay. Now what he could then do would be to move and advance with these guys here, and a 3 would deny this banner. It would shut it off, so I'd only get 2 points at the end of the game. And he just guns them down with the Dacobots. So he maxes out on Fin the Ranks.
Yeah.
So what would happen is let's be real generous and say that Stig does that, and therefore he would get, because we're in round 5, so kind of knowing your plan, you'd probably just go, I'll just go into the Stygies fallback 1.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
there's nothing really.
Because then they can just fall back and just shoot anyway.
Exactly. So we've still got their firepower in, plus all of that stuff there. We would move the grav devs sort of back over here to add shots in. Look, 22 of them, even with Warp Surge, they're going to get absolutely blitzed and removed. So that would therefore leave Stig on 69 points. However, I'm already on 74 before I've even counted the banners at the end of the game and anything that I might get for bringing it down. So actually, despite the devastation that Stig caused and the sheer board control that I had, there was only about 6 or 7 points in it.
Yeah,
towards the end.
It's a lot closer than I think either of us thought it was going to be.
Yeah, no, absolutely. These two, the Dominus and Daedalus were absolute heroes.
Absolutely.
If the Fiends had managed to tag the robots, it would have only been for a turn because they would not have survived their shooting, but it would have been one turn that you just, and that was the turn that you would have been that you were shooting at my characters.
Exactly. So that would have been a completely different game at that point.
So yeah, very, very close in the end, despite what it may look like once we've done the math. So you're going to see that pop up on the screen now with our total scores accounting for all that, so you can sort of see it in picture. But yeah, well played, Stig. Despite the this being your first game against the Slaanesh and the jank that they can do, you held up very, very well.
Get in there. Yeah. Get in there. Apologies, folks, for some shaky camera work. I think it was, this heroic intervention over here, like, really did make the difference, as we said. Like, if I hadn't done that, then those Fiends are just touching up that those bots, and that's it. Yeah. Like, literally, that's the game at that point. This army, obviously, is way more castle-y than I like to play normally, but we wanted to kind of show you some slightly different things as much as anything, and see what happened with it. But yeah, it was good fun, just to play something different. But yeah, I think, as I say, I think I'll be bringing something other than Dakabots next time with the Ad Mech, just so you can see some different things.
It's a weird one. I mean, how many points are the Dakabots?
They are 125 points a model now.
So 375. Yeah, I mean that's a lot of board control that you're essentially giving up.
Yeah.
But I mean, as you saw, guys, whatever they looked at, they deleted. And okay, above average rolling aside, they would still probably be doing that. So, it's they do fill that niche that they need to kind of clear the board in order to get the board control. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I won this game on the primaries. I'd maxed out my primaries on turn 4. So that's what it's enabled me to sort of move out. If Stig had a few more turns of capturing primaries or being able to just get a couple more hold 2s on there, because I was able to so effectively shut him down in the early game, it enabled me to kind of crawl ahead, but only ever so slightly, as we've just sort of established. Only about 6 or 7 points in it, which in a game of 9th edition is pretty darn good in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like, all things considered, I'll take that.
Yeah. Stig, any closing thoughts?
Chickens, doggos, bats. Bats are next.
Oh, I really like the bats. Are you going for sterilizers or the...
I've got sterilizers already built, so I have to for now. And the other guys will come too, but yeah. Flames, because flames are cool.
Yeah, 12-inch flamers. Do you remember when Ad Mech players were really happy about having 12-inch flamers and they were like, yeah, we can do stuff from Deep Strike, that's really cool. And then everyone else was like, oh, that's really sucky for us. And then Games Workshop just went, just hold on now. Patient jump.
Half my beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We hope you have enjoyed that. We will catch you very, very soon for another battle report. I have been Chef. That's been Stig. You've all been wonderful at home. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you very, very soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.